Nobody got fired this
Blog
week.
Talk Radio.
This is Team Gooch, and we're in WGS, the best running wrestling and gaming radio show ever, only on Blog Talk Radio. And if you don't like anything we say or do, 1, we respect your opinion. 2, fuck you.
GCW presents live 100% chance of pain. July 23rd at the American Legion Hall at 3319 Veteran Memorial Drive in Abbeville, Louisiana. For more ticket information, call 337-366-7480.
This is Scott Phoenix, and you're listening to WGS Radio, Blog Talk Radio.
Like a bad slice of sausage pizza, WGS Radio is on the air. How's everybody doing? I'm Double B and Billy Boudreaux, and I hate cats with great ticks on their foreheads. And I think, well, I'll explain that joke in a little bit. Welcome, everybody, to this edition of WrestleDOWN, the discussion of wrestling now here on WGS Radio on this wonderful 1st of June. And might I say here for Louisiana, a very hot June 1st for us here in the Cajun country of Louisiana. So I'm going to go ahead and make a round of introductions because we got a lot to get to this week. First off, he is back, ladies and gentlemen. The Studley man, Ashley, has returned to us.
Yeah!
Don't worry, the tick has been firmly removed from my cat's ass. No, it's not from the cat's ass, it's from the cat's forehead. Don't worry.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, he has a Ph.D. in chair shotonomics. It's Nick Bondage. Nick, how you doing?
Oh, just fine. Golden Christmas, bad guys of history. Waffle Man is in the house. Yeah!
Ladies and gentlemen, the king of his own double-wide trailer is here. It's Chase Matthews. Chase, how you doing?
Hey, Billy, before I tell you how I'm doing, can I ask you a question that's been on my mind for weeks?
Sure.
Do you like your sausage original recipe or extra crispy?
Original, rather. Extra
right,
crispy is a little too burnt for my liking.
So you don't like black sausage, right?
As I awkwardly move on from that one, welcome WWE fan to the line. WWE fan, how you doing?
I was doing okay. Now.
Ladies and gentlemen, Fenwick the Mouse released them.
Notice they used the bartender there.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Fenwick the Mouse released him from his own rape hole. It's
Hey, it's great to be back, and now I'm kind of sad that I did because I come on and the first thing I hear is black sausage. and what happened to the 1-800 number?
The 1-800 number unfortunately had to wave bye-bye because it was draining a hole in my pocket, and I'm not talking about a place for my penis either. Anyway,
I said it because all the money was spent on a sausage.
But this week, the 1-800 number got fired. That's what
Ladies and gentlemen, the CEO of Homicide Incorporated and Nick Bondage's tag team partner, the Iron Reverend Jake Slayer. Rev Jake, how you doing?
Homicide Incorporated, Nick Bondage, and the Iron Reverend Jake Slayer. We are gonna rain down hell all over Louisiana. But the one thing I don't understand, why is Chase Matthews such a dumb fuck?
It's in the water.
Talking about black sausage, possibly. I don't know.
Oh, my Lord.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dixie Carter's #1 stalker, rapist, friend, fan is here. It's Andy. Andy, how you doing?
Hello, don't stand up. I've won the lottery this evening. Seriously, I have won the lottery.
Oh, good for you, Andy.
How much?
10 UK pounds. So, at the end of the show, I'll be taking requests. At the end of the show, I'll be taking requests what I can go out and splash my 10 UK pounds on.
Can I get new
to treat myself. I might buy a packet of cigarettes and a new cigarette lighter. How's that?
Andy, can I ask you a question? Is the ghost cat listening to us? Meow.
Was that the R-Truth action pack that you can get at Walmart with the cigarette spider?
Oh, God.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, before we get started, a couple of announcements. I'd like to thank everybody who's listening to us live, and of course, if you're not listening to us live, as you're listening to us here on the archive here on Blog Talk Radio or on iTunes, or ladies and gentlemen, the new place where you can hear WGS Radio is on the WGS YouTube channel, youtube.com/WrestleGamer, where currently we have 265 subscribers on the WGS YouTube channel. Wow. Getting pretty big on that channel.
Although, if you are listening to this on YouTube, if you're listening to this on YouTube, go over to Blog Talk Radio and listen to it there as well, so we can get above 15,000 on there, because that would, I think, be brilliant for the show. We're coming up to, I think, the year anniversary as well, I think.
All right,
tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your cousins, tell your uncles, anybody that you know, Reverend.
Tell your friends, tell your enemies.
Online. Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's go ahead and get the show started. Now, last week on the show, I kind of gave praise a lot to WWE superstars, and the good show. Yoshitatsu and Tyson Kidd. We had Drew McIntyre and Evan Bourne in the main event. This week, however, I really can't say the same thing. They opened with Santino Marella and Zack Ryder, which was okay. Then we had Kurt Hawkins and JTG. The main event, however, this is the main event. Tyson Kidd and Trent Beretta. Now, the only point about this show that's worth talking about is the person that came out with Tyson Kidd, who made his return to the WWE on this very night. It was Armando Estrada playing the role of Tyson Kidd's business manager, and from the way it looked nowadays, Ashley, it looks like every week Tyson Kidd's going to be coming out with somebody new.
Yeah, let's just say somebody who managed a former ECW championship contender taking place in this week. You may recognize him as well from NXT.
Now, Mr. Bondage, if I had my way with the show, I would have taken Tyson Kidd and Trent Beretta and put it as the opening match, and then say Santino Marella and Zack Ryder as the main event, considering the fact that Santino Marella and the Zack Ryder are the two stars on the show that's had the most pull, the most done in the WWE, rather than Tyson Kidd and Trent Beretta and Kurt Hawkins and JTG.
I would definitely have to agree with you there, Billy, on that one.
So, again, really not much to talk about on this show. But again, actually, one of the things we pointed out last week that we talked about that you didn't get a chance to weigh in on is, a lot of people, they get pops for their finishing moves, like when Hogan did his leg drop or whenever Bret Hart did the sharpshooter or anything like that. Every time Santino Marella does the Cobra, he gets the loudest pop from the audience I ever heard.
It's because they're sick of Cena doing the five-knuckle shuffle, probably. I don't know.
So, with that being said, let's hop off to Superstars and let's go over to Impact Wrestling, Week 2 for Impact Wrestling, which saw, we got a couple of things to talk about here. The Scorpion Sit-Down, where we had Ken Anderson dressed up as 1980 Sting, and he came out and interviewed Glenn Gilberti, but he came out as Disco Inferno. One, he wasn't even dressed in a disco style anyway. He was just in a suit. Or something like that.
Or perhaps he was trying to be like Tony Montana with the stupid flares and the jeans and everything. I don't know.
Now, I believe the whole purpose they did this segment was not to bury Sting, and two, to further pass off Ken Anderson as the heel. Chase, I don't know if you saw this, but you would have to agree that they solely used this segment with Disco Inferno and Ken Anderson to get to, further cement his new heel status in the company.
Well, I didn't watch it, but I did check out Mr. Kennedy's dress up as the old thing. But I didn't check out the Disco Inferno thing. I mean, actually Disco Inferno came out.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he did.
Wow. I'm gonna have to go check it out. I mean, I haven't been watching much Impact Wrestling seems like I've been missing some stuff, but as far as Mr. Kennedy's heel gimmick, he can play heel any day, so I'm just glad they have him heel and not as a face.
Hey, Rev Jake, what did you think about the opening match for Impact Wrestling this week? Tag team street fight with AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels with Tommy Dreamer and Bully Ray.
I will always watch TNA over WWE. I thought that was a great match. I mean, I just like TNA. Great.
Thank you, John. I'm Michelle.
But on the other hand, I think the tag team of Nick Bondage and the Reverend Jake Slayer, Homicide Incorporated, could kick the crap out of Beer Money without breaking a sweat.
Well, Andy, I want to go to you. Well, let's go ahead and make the announcement on here before we start talking about this segment. For Destination X, they are bringing back the six-sided ring. Just for that pay-per-view, and I think that's a good thing, because TNA is taking the two things that made TNA stand out. One, it was the X Division. I know we can all agree with that. The X Division set them apart from any other wrestling company they have on the market today so far. Correct?
Yeah, I would agree.
And number two, the six-sided ring. Everybody really
Judas. That's all I can say.
Okay. But anyway, they had the further announcement of the Destination X pay-per-view, courtesy of the segment involving Hulk Hogan, Eric Bischoff, and Mick Foley. Brian Kendrick came out and got involved in the segment, but whatever the dude was saying, I need a freaking dictionary because, you just can't understand what this kid is saying, Like, God is talking through me. Yeah, really? Sure. Yeah. God and weed. That's talking through me, Brian Kendrick. Anyway, next thing we know, we have Winter and Angelina Love, and man, they are just going out of whack with this storyline, Andy. Wouldn't you agree?
I don't know where they're going with the storylines. Excuse me. Since they've got this bee in the bonnet, because WWE are thinking of changing their name, they've got to change theirs. I don't know. I'm completely in the dark. I keep sniffing at Dixie, but I'm getting nothing back from her.
Does that mean we can change our name to, like, Happy Tree Friends or something?
Tree huggers. Tree
now
friends. We can see the salts and spirits.
You have a ball of her dryer lint in your pocket and you just take it out and sniff it every now and then?
I've got a tampon on a string and I keep dipping it in my cup.
Oh my God.
So I'm a bit like a vampire. I can have a sip of the blood anytime I feel like.
You get a good Roger every now and then, huh?
As we slowly
That explains the Dixie Cups reference.
Oh, my God. Anyway, speaking of something that's even more insane, it's the whole situation involving the television title and Eric Young and Gunner. One thing I would like to notice first off, I don't know if everybody else has caught this, they're not calling it the TNA television title, they're just calling it the television title. Mr. Bondage, I wonder if you can elaborate. Is it possible that they're trying to phase the letters TNA out of the company?
It definitely sounds like that's what they're trying to do. What the reason why they're not actually going to have a label for their product, a name brand, is beyond me. I don't really know where they're going with that one.
I can come to some use for the first time tonight. Yeah, there was a story that came out saying that Hogan and Bischoff are pissed off, like when they go to execs of companies that they want to sponsor, like Microsoft or like games companies or movies. They don't want to touch the product because of the moniker TNA. Because they have to go, no, it doesn't mean tits and ass. The product is not that well enough known. So what it is, they're phasing, it's Hulk and Bischoff that are desperate to try and change the name the most. There are some people that want to keep the TNA name, but they're the big advocates for it. If you go to TNAWrestling.com, it now reverts to ImpactWrestling.com. The Facebook page has turned to Impact Wrestling instead of TNA Wrestling. The titles are starting to change. the pay-per-view is still TNA Presents Slammiversary, but I wouldn't be surprised if you saw that phased out in the next month or two. But yeah, it's all for marketing because they want more money, and because they realise that if Ring of Honor, with this deal that they've signed up with the Sinclair Broadcasting Corporation, if Ring of Honor can get out there, it might mean less people watching their product and more people watching Ring of Honor. When that starts up in, I think it's September, it'll be interesting to see how the ratings do.
And ladies and gentlemen, the phone lines are now open. If you would like to get in on this Impact Wrestling discussion, 914-803-4615. That is 914-803-4615. You can also call in via Skype. It is a free call, and the chat room on blogtalkradio.com/WGS Radio is now open. Now, to spare everybody the aggravation of trying to understand and talk about the storyline, let me just say this. Eric Young actually outsmarted somebody by the name of Gunner, and he is now the new television champion. Yikes.
But let's just say you might not recognise Eric Young tomorrow night on Impact.
Oh my God.
You might, but you might not. That's all I'm saying. But it's another clever move by Impact Wrestling.
So what, is he going to stop being stupid now, or is he going to come out and
no,
wrestle in his underwear?
It relates to Mr. Anderson.
Oh, my God.
Are they going to start calling him Asshole Junior?
I don't want to spoil it, because I think it's a very weird gimmick. But
Are they going to start calling him Mr. Asshole Junior?
You might smile when you see it.
Well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, quick recap of Impact Wrestling. AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels defeated Tommy Dreamer and Bully Ray in a tag team street fight. Then we had the Scorpion sit-down with Disco Inferno. Eric Young and Gunner were discussing their television title situation in the bathroom. Yeah, go figure. Velvet Sky and ODB had a confrontation. I'm going to leave that for later, because apparently ODB is trying to pull an R-Truth by being paranoid. Beer Money went to Eric Bischoff, and apparently Robert Roode, or Bobby Roode, as we know now, is injured. Jeff Jarrett defeated... Wow. Jeff Jarrett defeated Matt Morgan due to interference by Scott Steiner. And we had the whole situation with Eric Bischoff, Hogan, Mick Foley, and Brian. I need a fucking dictionary and stop smoking weed, Kendrick. Then we had Winter and Angelina Love having a lesbian massage backstage. Mickie James defeated Winter, and then was attacked by Angelina Love after the match was over. Abyss defeated Brian Kendrick to retain the X Division title. Yeah, you heard that right. And the
X Division anymore.
Eric Young defeated Gunner for the television title, and the main event, Kurt Angle defeated RVD. Ashley, thoughts on Impact Wrestling?
Overall, not a bad show. Just a little correction. Abyss isn't calling it the X Division title now. He's calling it the Extreme title.
Well, they didn't mention it on this episode.
I think they did.
No.
It seems to be all over the internet, possibly. It might have been like a side reference, and it was only mentioned once, so everybody forgot about it. But anyway, apparently the X Division is dead. So, Six-Side Ring and the X Division, they're trying to really kill them off. I mean, the worrying thing about this Destination X thing is it's about the same time as the year as what happened last year with ECW.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw what happened with the ECW reunion. That basically got squashed after 2 months. So, bye-bye X Division. Everybody get a Ring of Honor. Or something.
All right, Andy, your thoughts about Impact Wrestling? Andy?
He's got his tampon in the wrong way.
All right, what about you, WWE fan? What about your thoughts on Impact Wrestling?
It was a good show, but Angelina, the storyline just keeps getting crazier and weirder.
Yeah, but on the upside, we get to see her, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So what about you? What are your thoughts on Impact Wrestling? Chris.
Who knows?
Oh. Okay, I didn't see it last week. Now I wish I did for that lesbian scene.
Mr. Bond,
I need some action on...
You need some action on Fenwick?
Oh, God.
No, on Thursday nights, because ever since I left school, things have been dead.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, they didn't.
I haven't been able to do girl watching in 3 weeks.
Wouldn't they?
Get a hooker.
Bird watch. Bird watching. There's plenty of condors outside of the. Come on.
All right, Mr. Bondage, what are your thoughts about Impact Wrestling?
Overall, good show this week. I still feel that they just have too many storylines going on, too many different directions. It would be nice to take, like, I would say maybe 2 or 3 of the angles and see if there was a way to merge them maybe together to kind of cut down on a little bit of the confusion about storylines, because it's a lot to keep up with. Was never a big fan of the 6-sided ring. That's why I called you Judas on that one. I never felt like a 6-sided ring should be the gimmick that they would use to get people to initially tune in and watch them, you know, because, oh, we're different. We have a 6-sided ring. With the name change, I think it's a very bad idea. You know, I think if they stay cutting edge and kind of edgy and you know, kind of out there, I think they would do better, you know, because if they choose a name that's safe and family friendly, then I think they'll just kind of fall into a rut, you know.
All right. Well, Chase Matthews has already said that he did not watch Impact Wrestling, and apparently we're losing Skype callers because Andy is gone now too. I don't know what's going on here, but all right.
Shot in this episode.
Yeah. I hope Skype isn't causing problems for the people here on Blog Talk Radio. But anyway, let's head over to Friday Night SmackDown.
Chase, you want to say something? Okay.
Anyway, a couple of things to talk about on here. One was they had 2 fantastic matches back to back on here. First, it was Sin Cara and Chavo Guerrero, and I must say, Sin Cara looked really great. Looked really good. Now, I've received some feedback on YouTube saying that, you know, the finish that I talked about on my my SmackDown video was a botched finish. But the thing is, you know, I thought it looked really good myself because, you know, it was something new. I've never seen a corkscrew bulldog before, but from what it looked like, it might have been a botch because it looked like the move might have called for Sin Cara to go to an armbar or maybe a crossface, but the positioning of where they were in the ring, I think, was what the botch was, because as soon as they landed, Chavo knew he was in the ropes, and then I think they probably just told him to turn over and let Sin Cara pin him. But the other match that really took me by surprise, I didn't think it would be a good match, was Daniel Bryan and Cody Rhodes. I mean, these two, in my opinion, stole the show. I mean, these two were really good in the ring. They went back and forth. And like I said on my SmackDown video, Ashley, I really hope that they take Daniel Bryan and Cody Rhodes and turn it into a really good feud for SmackDown.
If it's angled in the right way, I think it could, because you've got 2 good young talents there that deserve development, and if this feud does continue, which it may do this Friday, hint, seems pretty cool.
Andy, what was your opinion about Daniel Bryan and Cody Rhodes on Friday Night SmackDown?
Unfortunately, I didn't see it. I was looking for cats. I was pussy hunting.
The ghost cat had a tick on his forehead.
Pussy footing around.
I was pussy hunting.
Let's go to Chase. Chase, what was your opinions about Daniel Bryan and Cody Rhodes on SmackDown? Because to me, they kind of stole the show on Friday Night SmackDown.
I agree. It's obvious Daniel Bryan has a great work ethic, and he's very good in the ring, and Cody Rhodes is getting a push right now, so I think if they book it right, these 2 can have a great feud together.
Now, we've been talking about this for weeks, Mr. Bondage, about the Great Khali's heel turn. It finally happened involving Jinder Mahal, Rajan Singh, and my only thought about this one, Mr. Bondage, is the fact that the heel turn was, we all knew it was coming, but the way they presented it, it was just too predictable, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. It was predictable. It goes, with what my thoughts are on the whole Great Khali thing anyway, is why is this man still there? He, in my opinion, I chalk him up there in the category of like Gene Snitsky and Heidenreich and gosh, what's his name? The other big guy.
Isaac Young.
Yeah, those type of guys, where they just kind of just fall into obscurity. Why is this man still there?
That's the forgivable. That's the unforgivable sin of Kane. He was at one point Isaac Yankem. Dear Lord.
Booker T publicly humiliated Michael Cole again with the barbecue sauce in the foot, and the only thing I'll say about this one, any chance we get to see Michael Cole humiliated in a public forum, I am all for. One thing I'm not going to touch too much on, but they actually had this, and I don't know why, and I would like to slap WWE in the face for doing this. AJ and Caitlyn from NXT Season 3 being mentored by Natalya take on Alicia Botch and Tamina, who secretly might be a man, I'm not sure. And but the thing is, this is how they presented it. It was Alicia in the entire way. Tamina stood outside on the ring apron, and she still won the match for her team. I mean, come on, WWE. I mean, that was absolute crap. Anyway, final recap of Friday Night SmackDown. We had a debate with Randy Orton, Christian, Mark Henry, and Sheamus for the #1 contendership, which, again, got very predictable into the triple threat main event. Sin Cara defeated Chavo Guerrero. Daniel Bryan defeated Cody Rhodes. Ezekiel Jackson defeated Wendy's girl Slater by disqualification. Kane defeated the Great Khali. Then the Great Khali turned on Rajat Singh. Booker T publicly humiliated Michael Cole. Thank you very much. Booga. Alicia Botch and Tamina, I'm secretly a man, defeated Jay and Caitlyn from NXT Season 3. Again, I don't know why they were there, but they were still there. And then Sheamus defeated Christian and Mark Henry to become the #1 contender for the title. And let me just say this. If they would have given it to Christian again, I would have been really surprised. If they would have given it to Mark Henry, I wouldn't think they would give it to Mark Henry because I don't believe he's ready yet. Again, he's not like full-on heel. He's not in that position he was when he was in WWE ECW, if you know what I mean. And so I think it was about time that they actually do something with Sheamus. So that's why it was a little bit predictable that Sheamus was going to win. Ashley, what were your thoughts about Friday Night SmackDown?
Overall, okay-ish. If you thought the Divas match was good last week, you'll look forward to this week's Divas match because it's exactly the same. But no, but the situation is there's only about 4 Divas on SmackDown. Tamina, Alicia.
Tamina, we think she's a diva, but we're not entirely sure.
No, but is Tamina even on SmackDown or is she on Raw? I don't know. But certainly Natalya SmackDown. Beth Phoenix down, but I haven't seen Beth Phoenix in ages, I guess because of the CM Punk situation.
Beth Phoenix moved to Raw to try to please CM Punk, so that
oh, yeah, that was it, yeah. That was it, I remember
Yeah,
that.
she was on this past
but
Monday.
You see, the #1 diva at the minute for SmackDown is injured. Because Layla is out.
Yeah.
Layla's out for a while. They were bringing Caitlyn in to replace her, and I guess they feel they need somebody to boost Caitlyn, and they were impressed by AJ in the NXT thing, and she was like a hot favourite to possibly win alongside Caitlyn. So I guess they've decided to ship her in like they did with Alex Riley. Alex Riley never won NXT, yet he's got a better career at the minute in WWE than Loki, or Senshi, or Cabal, or Suicide, or whatever the hell you want to call it.
Oh, I got a nice little key I'm going to make on Alex Riley after we're done talking about Friday Night SmackDown. I promise you. I got something good as we go to Chris Masters. Chris, what were your thoughts on Friday Night SmackDown? Chris Masters.
Sorry, I was hypnotized by watching Kelly stripping. Holla,
holla, holla.
Yeah, definitely. Basically, I didn't watch SmackDown, but I did see parts of it on YouTube, and let me just say, basically, I can use that to go to sleep.
Yeah,
I blame Barack Obama.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, y'all.
That's all right. All right. Well, Mr. Bondage, we just got through talking about Friday Night SmackDown. What was your overall opinion on it?
Overall opinion, like everyone else said, the Daniel Bryan match and the Cody Rhodes was probably the best of the night. I wish Cody Rhodes would stop doing the whole Phantom of the Opera type character. It's just really kind of getting mind-numbing, though. But his ring performance is always top-notch. Didn't care much for the Sin Cara Chavo Guerrero match. I just don't like the way that they do the lighting and just the way that they kind of force Sin Cara down your throat with, you know, to me his matches don't really make a whole lot of sense. It's just how many flippy-flop moves can I squeeze in to a 5-minute segment, you know? And it's just, you know, the same thing every match. It's just botch after botch after botch. There's always at least 2 to 3 botches in there, you know. That right there says something. Slow it down. Take your time.
And so while Andy was on the hunt for Phantom Pussy last week, let's go to Chase. Chase, what was your nobody got that joke today.
No, I got it.
That's the weirdest Star Wars parody porn movie I've ever seen. Phantom Pussy. I dread to think what the parody of Attack of the Clones is.
Oh, Lord. That's
Lord.
Chase, what were your thoughts on Friday Night SmackDown?
Before I give my review, did you hear what happened after the show?
No, what happened after the show?
Well, I got it on the app on my phone, but evidently Randy Orton and Christian was advertised for a dark match, and nobody came out until Mark Henry's music hits, and like he was out there for like 15 minutes just taking time, and like all I seen was I read was Great Khali's music hits, but nobody came out. Then Hornswoggle music hits, but nobody comes out. Then suddenly Vince McMahon's music hits, but nobody comes out. And suddenly Mark Henry and Scott Armstrong, I think it was Scott Armstrong, gets into it, and everyone starts chanting Scott Armstrong's name. Then they started chanting "We Want Mae Young," and like.
Oh my God. Are they asking for suicide here?
And no, I'm serious. And like after all that, Justin Roberts basically said, "There you go." The night was over, and it's like Mark Henry just came out for 15 minutes at a time when it was supposed to be Randy Orton versus Christian. And like I heard people were very pissed off about that. I really don't know what was the point of that. There you go. I just have to get that away.
I thought that was Kelly climaxing there for a second.
Oh my God!
I think like the high-dollar hooker that you pay for, and all she does is give you a back massage.
All coming out. Sound guys, stop playing the sound.
I think Nick Barnes was in the audience that they were chanting, "We Want Mae Young."
Again, I reiterate.
Oh my God! Love you, Nick.
Anyway, thoughts on Friday Night SmackDown, Chase?
I thought it was okay. I saw the last 30 minutes of it, but I did see the Daniel Bryan Cody Rhodes match on YouTube. But the main event was okay-ish, and I'm not really excited about seeing another Sheamus Orton feud. Hopefully it doesn't last long, but I guess it's good because Sheamus is back in the main event. But overall, it was okay-ish.
I was completely surprised by that one. I thought for sure Mark Henry would go over in that match and have a Mark Henry Randy Orton feud because of recent the big push for Mark Henry. I was really kind of surprised at that, actually.
Yeah. Now, did WWE ever release an explanation to fans as to why they did that, Chase?
From what else I read, no. Basically, all I heard was the fans were really unhappy because Mark Henry just came out for 15 minutes, just wasting time. And like Justin Roberts said, there was going to be a match, and like I said, Hornswoggle music hits, McMahon's and Great Khali's, and suddenly Justin Roberts says the night was over. So I really don't know much.
It was an invisible match.
Yeah, it was. And
like I said, it's almost like the $5 hooker that you get for an hour, and she only gives you a back massage.
I really don't know. It would have been nice if Mae Young came out with her blue cheese, but...
Oh.
Yeah, she was at home with me.
Oh, okay, that's what it was.
Yeah. I leaned over as I was kissing her neck, and I told her, "See, honey, they still like you."
Oh. Oh. Our fathers aren't in heaven. I'm going
You're still over, honey.
I heard Mark Henry's very pissed that you took his woman.
Oh, my God.
Hear that one, The Rock, saying that?
I heard he was giving you the big hand. Nothing
anyway.
I've often thought about that whole segment where Mae Young gave birth to the hand. I mean, was she trying to tell everybody that she likes to get fisted?
Well, if it was from a white man. It was from a white man.
Well, we have to say inevitable word. It's broken.
Anyway, I would like to take this time to address something that happened on Monday Night Raw. Apparently, storyline-wise, the announcer general manager has signed between Miz and here is the problem with do we drafted to Friday Night SmackDown? Is WWE trying to play we the fans as idiots that we would forget that Alex Riley gets drafted to Friday Night SmackDown? I mean,
just a little side note, Billy. Remember when Cena went in the draft and then got drafted back? No, that doesn't make any sense either.
It was WWE jerking our chain. That's what they did it for.
Well,
it was basically to waste 2 hours of our life. That's all I can say about this. But why are they treating us like we're complete morons? We would forget, Alex Riley getting drafted to Friday Night SmackDown. In fact, hasn't he had an appearance already on Friday Night SmackDown? I think the week after the draft, or it might have been the week of the draft he was on Friday Night SmackDown.
I think he was, but it was
right
only that week, and it was appearing with The Miz in some shape or form.
But anyway, this new feud, Mr. Bondage, between Riley and The Miz, it looks like it's turning into a pretty good and a pretty heated one. A lot of people thought that when Alex Riley would leave The Miz, that he would basically, be a jobber the rest of his career and then go do something else. But apparently he's developed quite a following so far.
Well, it's obvious at this point that the WWE officials have seen something in Alex Riley, which is why there's probably that separation there. Then not only that, maybe they want to add a little bit of credibility to The Miz where he can actually start taking care of his affairs on his own. But I think it's a good move by WWE. I think Alex Riley would be well-suited for a face turn, and it just, it's a lot like the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase and Virgil type gimmick, a series of matches that they had. But unlike Virgil, Alex Riley can actually wrestle. It's a good move. I like it. It's it gives you something else to look at, different faces, different angles, instead of the same old stuff that's been going on as of late. So.
You know, it's very interesting you mentioned Ted DiBiase, Ashley, because, well, you know what I mean, because I'm going to you next, but it's been confirmed that I believe it's in December, WWE is releasing a $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase DVD set.
Ah.
They are.
I mean, are we all in agreement that Ted DiBiase was one of the best heels in the 80s in the WWF?
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, for a guy that didn't really have a body, in a era of giants and big, huge bodies, he accomplished a lot. He did a lot, and he made some major impacts into the business.
I can't comment on the matter because I haven't been paid by Ted yet.
Actually, let's go ahead and while we wait before we go to break here, what other news stories do you have for us to talk about?
Well, we had a little. Well, we're jumping all over the place.
Well, let me talk about this. Let's talk about this real quick, though. Even though it's not Saturday, it's still related to it in some form. Hulk Hogan has a video game, guys, and it is a Microsoft Kinect game called Hulk Hogan's Main Event.
Brother!
Now, is it just me, or is Hulk Hogan desperate for money?
Yeah.
Desperate. Sorry.
He's lost it all to
I
his
can
wife.
I can imagine the sales pitch for this game. You know, oh brother, let me tell you, brother, when you get your hands on this game, brother, you're gonna be saying to yourself, oh brother.
You're gonna be playing with you, brother. If he said that, he might want to take that in a different connotation, especially with TNA.
Although, hey Billy.
If it works. Yeah.
Hey Billy.
Billy's on the phone. Don't worry.
Did y'all hear about the SmackDown versus Raw? I think 2012 being canceled.
No, not cancelled. Rebranded.
Yeah, rebranded. Yeah.
WWE 12.
12.
I don't know what this is. This should be an interesting little message to WWE. THQ have dropped SmackDown vs. Raw because they don't see much SmackDown vs. Raw on the TV programming. Little hint, WWE. You might want to do something about that. I don't know.
Vince should just start calling his product WWE Blur, because we blur SmackDown and Raw together.
Oh, don't talk to me about blurring. There was a story. Apparently, WWE has hired 5 blurrers. What they do is they get the old footage from WWE, when it was WWF, and blur out the F so it looks like the WWE logo.
Ooh.
5 people
Give me a
needed
break.
letters. What the hell? But, you know.
What are they trying to recycle old matches and make you think these guys are making a comeback?
I don't know. It's all very blurred.
Blur.
Ultimate Warrior did some stupid call-out to Hulk Hogan this week as well.
Really?
Well, last week, I think it was, on YouTube. And Hulk Hogan basically went, okay, I'm not rising up to you. And, you know, to try and do it even more, today, Ultimate Warrior is now on Twitter, so you can insult him all the hell you want.
Oh, what?
Ultimate Warrior, a.k.a.
Yay.
the ultimate douchebag.
Speaking of social media, MVP is now officially on Twitter and Facebook.
And YouTube.
Yes, and Low Key, a.k.a. Senji, a.k.a. whatever, has set up a Facebook fan page.
Hey guys, actually, I hate to interrupt you, but he's back. It's Vinny the Guido.
What's going on, shitheads? What are you guys up to?
Damn.
It's great to be back on here, you fuckheads, man. What's going on?
Vinny, we're glad to have you back.
Hey.
Thanks, guys. Thanks. It's a pleasure to be back on here.
Hey.
Let's have some fun.
Hey, Vinny, by the way, I love that new picture you put up of that chick.
Which one? There's a whole bunch of them.
It was a mirror picture. It was that mirror picture with the chick with the big old, tits. Can I say that one here, Bill? Tits.
Dude,
dude, if I could say fuck, you could say tits, okay?
He can't say it without trembling and grabbing for his rabbit fur.
According to the Scissor Sisters, you can't say tits on the radio, but internet radio, you can say what the fuck you want.
Hey.
Tits and ass.
Hey, this is not regulated by the FCC, so you can say cocksucker, motherfucker, fuck shit, cunt, cock, and pussy, and it's okay.
Everybody in unison.
I'll say it again. I'll say it again for the hearing impaired, a little bit louder too. See, this is not regulated by the FCC, so you can say cocksucker, motherfucker, fuck shit, cunt, cock, and pussy, and it's okay.
Titty sprinkles.
Hey, and blue cheese, I might add.
Kind of rivaling Scarface for the amount of swearing at the minute. I'm like...
And for those of you who don't know, that he didn't say random words, and that was all one curse word he said at 500 an hour.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. It's in the dictionary. I've seen it.
Yeah,
I can't believe they got rid of my TNA. Tits and ass.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
now it's called Impact, so, you know, I'm kidding.
Well, what's your opinion on the new look they have on there? The name, the new look, the new feel.
You mean the fact that it looks like Thunder all over again from WCW?
Thank you. I thought I was the only person who thought that.
Just like Vince McMahon bit off of Thunder and decided to come out with SmackDown to make it look like Thunder.
Yeah. It's just it's just out there, and we did talk about Friday Night SmackDown. One thing I did say, Vinny, that Daniel Bryan and Cody Rhodes, they have the makings for a great feud just for those two. And that night on SmackDown, they kind of stole the show on Friday Night SmackDown.
Oh, you guys watched that?
Yeah.
Oh, because I really don't pay attention to WWE too. No, I'm kidding. I watch the product. I mean, I do watch SmackDown. I do watch Raw only because I feel like I have to. Do I enjoy watching it? No, absolutely not. But in order to, know the business, if you're working in a business, it's your job to pay attention to what's going on TV, so you can see if there's anything new or the same old shit like they usually do as of late.
Or somebody stole your gimmick.
I mean, honestly, again, I see no purpose to the draft. The draft, to me, again, was pointless because we're still getting matches that we've seen from 3 years ago. It's ridiculous. I mean, the whole purpose to a draft is to give people matches that they've never seen before. And they've only done that, like, maybe 3 times. All the rest is matches that you've already seen. And it makes no sense to me whatsoever why to even have a draft if you're going to give us the same matches anyway. It just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, I think WWE's dropping the ball with that, and, I don't think Vince gives a shit, to be quite honest. It's his money. If he wants to wipe his ass with it, he'll do it. Vince is the type of guy that could take $100,000 and wipe his ass with it and then throw it in the toilet bowl and flush it. That's Vince's mentality. If Vince has the money to do that.
Eric Young.
And you know what? I wish I was like Vince McMahon, where I could have $100,000 to wipe my ass with if I run out of toilet paper. But
I think we
the
all
reality
like
of it. But the reality of it is that again, it's Vince's money, and if people are going to bitch about it, it's his money. He can do what he wants with it. Do I agree with what he does with his money? No, absolutely not. But I'm not his father, so I can give 2 fucks what he does with his money.
The only people who could really bitch about his money is the shareholders.
The only people who bitch about it is the marks on the fucking media websites. But and even me, if I take a dump sideways, it makes the media. And if there's no truth to anything out there on me, people make shit up and put it about me on the media. 90% of what you read about me on the media is all lies. 90%. That's a big fucking number.
Yeah.
So,
now, Vinny, before...
Now, I mean, come on. I turned down Sex from Paris Hilton. Like, are you fucking serious? Like,
Sex from Paris Hilton, that has STD stamped all over it now. Vinny, before we go to break here for the hour, Vinny, before we go to break, I have to ask you for at least one road story before we go to break.
There's so many of them, it's really hard to say, man. I mean, my all-time favorite road story was, again, the one with Luna Vachon, which is on a website that I just did. If you guys should pull it up and you want to read it, go right ahead. It's one of the best road stories. If you go, are you guys online right now?
Yes.
Go, when you go to
you posted something like it on Facebook, didn't you?
Listen, if you guys go to break, when you guys go to break, go to my Facebook wall, right? I mean, go to my Facebook page. Go to where it says photos, or click on photos. Go to wall photos and the wall photos album, and you will see the interview. There's a link for the interview. Like if you click on it, there'll be a link. You click on that, and it'll bring you right to it. And you guys could read it word for word if you want. It's pretty actually entertaining. So you might want to read it out to everybody that's listening on the radio right now. And I'd like to get your opinions on it if you'd like. So to go to break and try to pull that up, and then when we come back, read it. It'll be good. I'm telling you, it's good.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to go to break, and then when we come back, we'll have that road story. And not only that, we're going to talk about Karma's announcement and a surprising name I didn't think she was going to bring up in that announcement. Wasn't you, Nick Bondage? And we're also going to talk about R-Truth once again flipping out, and also WWE and all the technical errors they had at the start of Monday Night Raw. And a surprising announcement involving WWE Champion John Cena and his title defense at Capital Punishment. You're listening to WrestleDOWN, the discussion of wrestling now.
I don't mean to cut you off right there, but I think there's a reason why they call it capital punishment. And it's not because it's in the capital. No, it's punishment to watch that shit.
Thank you.
Well, on that note, we'll be back, and of course, we have everybody, including Vinny the Guido, will be joining us, and we're going to definitely have a lovely conversation in the second hour. We'll be back, everybody.
This is Scott Phoenix, and you're listening to WGS Radio, Blog Talk Radio.
That I got rug burn on my penis.
After what happened to his uncle Eddie Guerrero back in November.
While at a nature's preserve, beware of the granny wasp.
I don't combine my liquor, or else I get a bad case of Montezuma's revenge.
And that's why we call it Wrestling Talk with an Edge. It's The Rant, live every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock Eastern on Blog Talk Radio and Go Fight Live.
Of a South American God.
This is Team Pooch, and we're in WGS, the best running wrestling and gaming radio show ever. Only on Blog Talk Radio. And if you don't like anything we say or do, 1, we respect your opinion. 2, fuck you.
This year, you'll hear Artist 1 to Be on Rockin' Waves 11/2/94.
That promo is old.
Lead and sauce. The Rolling Stones. Frank Zappa.
Hey there, people, I'm Bobby Brown. They say I'm the cutest boy in town.
Yours truly, Fenwick Mouse. The hits old and new are being played all throughout 2011 on Rockin' Waves 11/2/94. Listen online every Friday from 1 to 5. Every Saturday from 10 p.m. until the party ends. Go to blogtv.com/people/Quizmaster1 to listen in on all the hilarity.
gotta be the world's longest fucking
This
break.
is Nick Bondage, and you're listening to WGS Radio, Blog Talk Radio.
Oh, here comes my intro.
Yeah. you were about 30 seconds. Yeah, I should flag you for an early start. You were about 30 seconds away from the commercial being over. Anyway.
You know, guys, I have to tell you something. You know, I'm wearing this bracelet right now, right? And I've been walking around with it all day, and I've been getting a lot of compliments from it. And it's not the kind of bracelet you might think, like, you know, like usually the nice jewelry that I normally wear in the ring and stuff like that. No. This isn't even like a jewelry kind of bracelet. I mean, it's kind of like a bracelet it's a rubber bracelet, believe it or not. And I actually bought it in support of breast cancer, and it says, "I love boobies." And I've been getting a lot of compliments with this bracelet
God bless
today.
America.
Yes, and I told them, and it's weird because, you know, when I paid for the bracelet, they said the money was going towards breast cancer awareness. I said, that's great. I'm fully aware of breast, you know. And they looked at me like I had three heads on my shoulders, like not like that, you know. And I was like, oh, you mean? They said no, not breast. They said not breast awareness, breast cancer awareness. I was like, oh, okay. And they said this is in support of breast cancer. I was like, yeah. I was like, I support breast cancer. I think a lot of women should have it. They go, no, it's not like that. They're like, no. I was like, they're like, no. They said we're trying to raise money so we can stop it. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I was like, why? What happens? I was like, what happens if women get breast cancer? They said, well, they could die. Number one. They said, number two, you know, sometimes they have their, you know, a breast taken away. I was like, a breast taken away? No! I love breasts. I was like, you know what? I'm going to pay money. I said, I'm going to pay money. And I bought like 10 bracelets because I really want them to save the women's breasts because I love looking at them, you know? And these people, they were like, you know, they look like I was nuts. They're like, you know, like, thank you for the money, but you're an asshole, you know? You know? And I'm like, yeah, I said, you know, I love looking at boobs. I want to save the boobs, you know. I mean, God save the boobs, you know. I mean, I want to come out with my own campaign, God save the boobs, you know. Like, seriously, like, I mean, come on. I mean, what man doesn't like a good pair of breasts, you know? I mean, especially if they're natural and they're big and they're soft and you can cuddle with them, you can play with them, you can fondle them, you can sleep on them, you know. Breast implants, however, are very rock hard, and it's kind of hard to put your head on them at times. And wait a minute, I'm going way off topic on this. Okay, never mind. I think I'll stop now.
Hey, Vinny, before we go any further, Nick Bondage has gone on record saying he loves the feel of Mae Young's breasts.
Oh, my God.
Oh, okay, all right. I mean, the prunes, yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah, he's already confessed that he's already confessed that he's the father of the hand that Mae Young gave birth to.
Well, I'll tell you, he's got good taste. Wait, he's got good taste, and I'll tell you why. Because age comes with experience, and an experience. And a woman with age has experience in the sack, and you know, not for nothing, but they kind of make Mae Young like an old-fashioned whore on WWE-TV every time they put her on there, you know. So, I mean, I bet you she can give a good, you know, a gum blowjob, you know, with the missing teeth, you know, with the gum blowjobs, you know. I mean, I could just
much,
imagine.
Guido. Thank you.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, the reason why is because who else would you want to give you a blowjob? You know, some girl that's just learning, or some girl that gave a blowjob to Charlie Chaplin.
Exactly. I want a fucking professional to suck my dick. I mean, she better suck. If a girl's gonna suck my dick, she better suck the chrome off her fucking trailer hitch first. I want to make sure she can suck, you know.
Oh, have you never seen the stretch marks around her mouth?
You talking about? Did you just say about the? Wait a minute, hold on, 1 second. Did you just say the skid marks in your underwear?
I said the stretch marks around her mouth.
The stretch marks around her mouth. All right. Well, dude, I love it when a woman wears lipstick, and I'm talking about the lipstick that actually comes off, like, when they're giving you a blowjob, so they give you a ring around the dick, you know?
Anyway, as we get back to our wrestling program,
we found the road story with Luna. 4 years ago, Vinny was with Luna traveling to an indie show in his Jeep and sitting in heavy traffic between the Frogs Neck Bridge and the George Washington Bridge, and this Mack truck driver was on the passenger side looking down at Luna's boobs. God save the boobies. So Luna flipped out, got out the car, and decided to go after the truck driver. The truck driver quickly rolled up his window and locked his door as, Luna was going completely apeshit. Vinny then put the car in park and went after Luna to try and stop her so she didn't get arrested for assault. Not to mention that Vinny didn't want to be late going to the event that they were supposed to be going at. Luckily, the negotiator went in and calmed her down, and they went off back to the indie event. God damn it.
Vinny, how close was she to murdering that guy?
Let's just say, if she would have touched him, we would have never made it to the indie event because I would have had to try to bail her out of jail. But it was definitely, God rest her soul. I love you, Luna, but my God, that was one of the best fucking road stories ever. It was like when we were sitting on that bridge, it was bumper to bumper, and it was gridlock and was not moving. I mean, it was like the largest parking lot in the world. I mean, you could have bro, I could have had a tailgate party, been done, got back in the car, and I still would have been sitting there and not moving an inch. Like, it was that bad on the bridge.
Damn.
So you could tell, like, I could not, and even when I got Luna back in the car, she was like, she still kept looking over and giving a dirty look like she was going to do it again. I'm like, Luna, please. I'm like, I love you, please. I mean, I want to beat the shit out of the guy, too, but we really have to be getting somewhere, and, but it was, I had to calm her down. But she's the type of woman that would actually give you the clothes off her back if it meant saving your life. She was a good Christian woman. But God help it if you disrespected her or anybody she was close to in any way. Oh, my God. That is one woman you do not want it to piss off. You did not want to piss that woman off, I'll tell you that.
Basically, she was going to take that trucker's wiener and take it as a present.
Oh, and he was scared shitless. He fucking... I never seen someone roll the window and lock the door so fast. I was like, oh, my God. I'm like screaming out the door, Luna, no! Oh, it was great, man, I'm telling you.
I understand it that you worked some shows over in Puerto Rico. What did you do, and what if you could tell us about, how it turned out and what you did over there? Was that a good question?
I think,
wow.
Judging by that laugh, I think we should change the question to what Vinny didn't do.
Yeah, well, let's just say, now, it's really weird because the guy who I spoke with, my friend, he told me, he begged me. Now, I was already going to go to Puerto Rico in August. But, they said, my friend's like, look, we really need you now. We're going to be doing a show in Puerto Rico where it's like the Americans versus the Puerto Rican guys or whatever. And they're doing like this whole American invasion angle. Kind of like when, Bret Hart was heel and the Canadians were invading, in America or whatnot. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, I was like, I said, I'm already going to Puerto Rico in August. And he's like, can you please, try to make it so you can go sooner? I said, yeah, I could talk to I could see what I could do, I said, my girlfriend's going to be with me, but, I was like, yeah, sure, why not, So, needless to say, I did it. He said, but I told him, I was like, he's got to cover if we're down there, he's like, oh, no, he's already going to cover the hotel, and he's going to cover the food and everything, and I was like, all right, well, that's doable, Now, apparently he was lying, the promoter's lying, one of them were lying about something, and it was something, was a little fishy in Denmark, or Puerto Rico, I should say, but, when we got off the plane, we were in San Juan, we spent the day there, me and my girl spent the day there, everything was fine. We get to Ponce, right, and as soon as we get to Ponce, this is where the problems lie. Now the promoter, tells my friend, oh, well, we had complications with the hotel, and they overbooked the hotel, and now there's only 2 rooms available. Meanwhile, there's a whole bunch of us there. And, you know, a lot of people were agitated. I wasn't the only one. I was pretty, you know, pissed, rattled about it or whatnot. But he said the promoter told my friend to tell us that he came up with a solution. He said he was going to put us on the beach house that's over by the water. Now, when you guys hear beach house, what do you think?
A house on the beach.
A house on the beach. But usually houses on the beach, what do they look like?
They're nice. 3 to 4 bedrooms.
Nice and clean and beautiful beaches and beautiful sunsets.
Nice skylights.
The
like,
opposite happened.
Yeah, like you're picturing skylights. You're picturing a nice beach house on the beach with a pool and you know and a nice a nice deck or whatever. And you know you're picturing a nice beach house, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, when we got there, now this is what's going to make you piss your pants laughing. When we got there, the fucking thing looked like a fucking shot. It looked like a fucking condom with windows on it. There was no air conditioning. It was like fucking 100-degree weather in the room. Bro, it wasn't even a fucking house. It was like a hallway with rooms attached to it. And
wow.
There was roaches, fucking lizards. It was like fucking everything was crawling all over the fucking place. Even the hotel had the cockroaches and lizards and shit. But the hotel, you know, that's another story. I'm going to get to that in a minute. But this beach house was fucking horrendous. And I said, look, in my medical condition, I cannot stay in this fucking beach house. I have high blood pressure. I said, even though I'm on medicine for my high blood pressure, my doctor said if I'm in a fucking hot-ass fucking room with no air conditioning, I could have a fucking stroke at the age of 32. Yeah. So I said, I'm not doing this. I'm about to go fucking back to fucking San Juan and say fuck it. And he's like, no. Well, you could have one of the 2 rooms at the hotel, right? Now the description he originally gave me about this hotel was that it's got a pool on the roof. He said they're pretty big rooms with air conditioning and a refrigerator and, you know, and all this shit. Now, I get to this fucking place and I see a bodega. And I'm like, where the fuck is the hotel? He goes, it's down, like, towards, like, the basement of the bodega and there's rooms all above the bodega. I was like, that's a hotel? He's like, yeah. So, and I'm like, oh boy, here we go, you know.
It just went from bad to worse.
Yeah, and you know, I said, you know, maybe it's not so bad. Maybe me and my girl, we could tough it out, you know. It's only for like a day or 2, and then we can go back to San Juan after the wrestling show's over. So I'm like, all right. You know what? Now, apparently the promoter was pissed at me because I had some kind of Facebook message up there about my trip to San Juan before I went to Ponce. And apparently, you know, he used that as an excuse. But I knew it was because I bitched about the hotel. And I knew it was because I bitched about the fucking beach house or whatever. I'm not stupid. I know that was the real reason. You know, I'm not a bobo like this fucking putz was. But anyway, so to make a long story short, all right, so, you know, I'm like, all right, let's take a look at it. Maybe it's not so bad. We get downstairs. Now, we're in the basement part of the bodega where the actual hotel room is. The room was pretty big. I mean, they didn't lie about that part, but everything else they fucking lied about. Because no sooner did we get down there was fucking cockroaches, there was fucking lizards crawling everywhere. Fucking, and I'm like, what the fuck, you know? Now we get inside the room, the refrigerator hardly even works. The air conditioner, thank God, worked, because if it didn't, I just would have fucking blew a gasket and went to jail in Puerto Rico. But luckily the air conditioner fucking worked. And, I mean, at this point, I was better off sleeping in my fucking car with the air conditioner on all night. But then I'd fucking die from the fucking fumes in the car and shit. So that's not good. But anyway, so me and my girl, we toughed it out. We decided to, stay a day or 2 in this fucking hotel or whatever. Now, I go upstairs to go in the pool with my girl, right? We go upstairs and, like, I go to the counter. I said, look, man, we've been through a lot of shit. You know, I was like, I just went upstairs. The fucking, the gate to the fucking pool is locked. So they give me the key. They go, you know what? Don't worry about returning the key until you leave. You could have the key. You know, we know you've been through a lot. So I said, okay. So me and my girl, we go upstairs. We go up to the roof where the pool is, right? We're all excited. We're getting ready to go in the pool, right? And get a nice view, of the highway because there was a shit view on the roof anyway. But we go upstairs to go into this fucking pool, right? It looks like a bathtub with a fucking filter on it.
Oh my God.
I was like, what the fuck? What? At first, I thought it was a hot tub. I'm like, oh, okay, it's not a pool, but it's a hot tub. It's a jacuzzi, you know? I get in, I'm looking for the knobs, like, you know, for the heat now right now. And I realize that is the pool. And I'm like, what the fuck? You know, it looks like a fucking bathtub with a filter. I was like, holy shit. I was like, do these people, when they look up swimming pool in the fucking, like, online through, like, fucking, you know, like, what do they call that? Fucking, you know, the fucking Google shit, you know? You know, I'm sure that wasn't a description in the fucking swimming pool department. If you look up swimming pools on Google, I guarantee it's not going to have a bathtub with a filter. So I'm like mind-boggled at this point. I said, you know what? Fuck this. I'm going back down to the hotel and chilling in the air conditioning, and at least I'm going to get laid, you know? I'm like, that's the least I could fucking do. You know, have some fun with the baby oil and put it all over my girl and see her all oiled up with her big-ass titties and stuff, you know? I'm like, all right, we're going to have some fun, you know? So, oh, no, it's better than NWO, believe that. Anyway, so, believe me, man, you know, it's awesome. So anyway, so we toughed it out for the first night. Now it's the next day. We go to the restaurant, and now the promoter doesn't want to pay for my food.
What?
Paid for everyone else's food, but didn't want to pay for my food. And I'm like, wow, like, really? I said, that wasn't the deal at all. The deal was that you cover the hotel and the fucking food. I was like, even if you don't pay for my girlfriend, that's fine because she's not a worker. I was like, but you're at least covering my fucking food. I'll pay for my girl's food, but you're covering at least one of our fucking foods. He's like, oh, you know, and, you know, I guess he didn't understand the fucking English language that well. But when I told him Mamadi Pinga and lick these cojones, that he understood. So I ended up saying, you know, I'm going back to the fucking hotel. I'm getting my shit and going back to fucking San Juan. Now, at this point, he asked one of his buddies to tell me that he wants the fucking hotel room key, like, right then and now. I said, no. I was like, I don't have it on me. He goes, what do you mean you don't have the hotel key on you? I said, because I knew this shit was going to happen because the way my fucking week was going so far. I said, I knew this shit was going to happen. So I put it in a little fucking dirt patch by the hotel, and I fucking hid that bitch because I knew you were going to pull this shit. So that's exactly, you know, I said, well, I'm not giving you the key back because I don't have it. You can search my pockets. I don't have it on me. You know, and they were threatening. They were going to go like, well, what makes you think that when you get back to the fucking hotel that we're not going to have people there to kill you? They said, you're not in America. I was like, wait a minute. I was like, isn't this fucking country fucking U.S. territory? And they're like, you know, they didn't answer me. They just gave me this cold, hard stare. And I'm like, look, you know, first of all, Puerto Rico is run by America. It's a U.S. territory. They use American money, for crying out loud. And you don't need a passport to go there either. So at this point, I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm calling their bluff because let me tell you something, okay? There's no way that was going to happen. You want to know why? The cops there are more strict than the cops in fucking... They're more stricter than a New York State trooper. You know what I'm saying? Like, they are... Yeah. The cops there, they don't fucking play, bro. They do not play games. Those cops are very strict. Like, I give them credit. They're fucking, like, that's like the best police work I've ever seen. Like, they bust their ass, bro. Except for maybe the ones being lazy on the beach. But other than that, like, most of the Puerto Rican police, they all bust their ass. You know, like, they're constantly, like, writing tickets. They're constantly pulling people over. I mean, they're fucking doing their job. Not like the half-ass lackeys in fucking Suffolk County that don't do shit. But I'll tell you, like, honestly, like, when they told me that they were going to have people, they were like, oh, yeah, what makes you think that we're not going to have people waiting at your hotel to kill you? I'm like, motherfucker, I'm standing here right now. Do something now. My girl's like, no, what are you doing? I'm like, they ain't going to do shit. You know? I was like, they're not going to do nothing. Relax. My girl was the one flipping out. I didn't. I had no care in the fucking world. I'm like, go ahead and try me. You know, and of course I didn't do it. I said, and then my boy Manny's like, look, I'm going to go back to the hotel with him, and I'm going to make sure you get the key back. So Manny comes back with me and my girl back to the hotel. I gather my shit. I put it in the fucking trunk of my fucking, you know, of my rent-a-car SUV that I had. And I drove Manny back to the restaurant, dropped him off, gave him the key, and said, here, tell them to stick the key up their ass. And I fucking went back to San Juan, and that's what happened. Now, if you read the report on the fucking line, 90% of that is all lies. They said I threw a pitcher of water in the fucking waiter's face. They said I threw a big fit at the fucking restaurant and all this shit. I didn't throw a fit. All I said was, I'm going back to San Juan. And with that, they threw in a fucking Holy Canary conniption fit. And I'm like, well, I told them. I was like, well, I told the guy beforehand. Now, I know why they wanted the hotel key. I left something out, and I forgot to say it. I told them that what makes them think if he doesn't pay for the food that I'm not going to destroy the hotel room when I get back. Yeah, I left that part out. I forgot to mention that part. Yeah, that's the funny part, actually. And that's why they wanted the hotel room key right then and there. I was like, nope, I don't have it. So Manny came back with me. Yeah, so Manny came back with me. So Manny came back with me to make sure I didn't do nothing to this hotel room. So all I did was got my shit. I just, basically, to be honest with you, I just said that to piss them off. I mean, I'm not the type of person to destroy a hotel room because it's not the hotel's fault that the promoter's a dickhead, you know? But I just said that to piss him off because I knew he would lose his sponsor because that hotel was sponsoring his Fed. So, yeah, so, and I basically, I just basically went back to San Juan and I told him I'm not working a shitty fucking little Puerto Rican show. So that's pretty much the end of that shit. But the shit that you read online, I mean, isn't even close to the fucking truth. I mean, the fact is, I mean, I admit I was a dick and I shouldn't have said that, but it was pretty funny. You should have seen the look on their face when I said it, too. It was priceless. I said, well, what makes you think I ain't going to fuck up the hotel room?
Well, Vinny, from the way you described it, it sounds like the hotel room was destroyed before you even got there.
Exactly. Exactly. You can't said it any better myself. You said it perfectly. That's exactly it. But, the thing is, that's the only thing that happened. Everything I just told you is the fucking truth. Now, if anybody wants to go believing whatever the fucking dirt sheets say, you're just as retarded as the fucking Bobo who wrote the shit. So, I mean, whatever Bobo decided to make that shit up was a fucking moron. And I mean, don't get me wrong. When I didn't even know it was on the medium. People copied and pasted it and sent it to me on an email. They said, you got to read this shit. And I read it, and I almost pissed my pants laughing. I was laughing really hard. I said, wow, that's the best story I've ever heard. But was it the truth? No, but it was entertaining to read, And you'd be surprised how many people actually read that shit as if, I mean, it's one thing to read it, but you can't go believing the shit you read on dirt sheets. Like, honestly, it's just as bad as the fucking, as the stupid little forums that they have. I mean, they just make up lie after lie after lie. I mean, why not make a lie and say that my dick fell off after I stuck it in a fucking transvestite hooker or something? Like what's that? You say that I turned down sex from Paris Hilton. You said that I'm autistic, my kids are autistic, and my whole family's autistic. Now, if that was even clinically true, all right, let me just tell you something. Let's just say I am autistic, which I'm not, but just for argument's sake, let's just say I am autistic, okay? Do you know it's a clinical fucking fact that it is impossible for someone's entire family to be autistic? Did the fucking Bobo who wrote this fucking do any fucking research before he wrote any of this shit down on the fucking internet? He makes himself look like he's a fucking retard, And on top of that, there's other rumors, let's see. The other rumors were, there's so many on there, it's ridiculous. Oh, yes, I stole $20 from Tammy Sitch. That was one of them. Now, I'm sorry, if you're going to make me out to be a thief, say I stole $1,000 or $500. Make it believable. Don't make me out to be a fucking crackhead. Like, really? $20? What the fuck am I going to do with $20? Wipe my ass with it? Like, what am I going to do with $20? Buy 2 candy bars and say, have a nice day? Like, you can't even buy a fucking pack of cigarettes at $20 anymore.
Damn.
You're lucky if you get a fucking little less than a quarter of a tank with that shit in the gas tank. Exactly. Like, seriously, for every fill-up you get at the gas station should include a blowjob and a free fuck now. It's insane, gas prices. The gas prices are outrageous. It's like, I remember asking for a pack of Newport 100s in the city, and they said $14. I said, does that include the blowjob? And they just fucking looked at me, get the fuck out of the store, blah, blah, blah. And everybody in the store busted up laughing.
Get out the store. I'm going on my Facebook page. This guy came in asking for a blowjob and a cigarette.
I mean, shit, you might as well fuck me, too. I mean, fucking $14 for a pack of cigarettes, that's insane. I was like, next time I take a shit, I'm going to ask you to give me the reach around. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, I'm not kidding. And it's really fucked up. I'm going to tell you guys a little fucking... You guys like stories, right?
If you've got corn in your shit, that's another 20%.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll tell you, here's a story. It's a road story, but it has nothing to do with wrestling. I remember back in the day, this is going back years ago, right? I go into the fucking store, I go into the 7-Eleven, right? And it's wrong because I'm not even a racist, but I just thought it would be funny to do it, you know? So I go up to the counter and I ask for a pack of Newport 100s. Now, this 7-Eleven is crowded, okay? Crowded. It was the weekend. It was like a Sunday for a fucking football game. So you know the fucking 7-Eleven's crowded. Everyone's buying beer and shit, you know, and chips. So I asked for a pack of Newport 100s, and he goes, "Oh, do you have ID?" I said, "Do you have a green card?" I'm a citizen. I am a citizen. I don't need this shit. Get down to my store. I go to police. Blah, blah, blah. Praise Allah. Praise Allah. La, la, la. It was fucking hilarious. And you can see everybody in the store fucking dropped shit and just started busting up laughing. Some lady dropped a cup of coffee all over the floor because she started busting up laughing when I did it. Like, it was like, all of a sudden you heard clang, clang, drop, drop. Shit ended up all on the floor. Everybody was rolling on the floor, laughing their asses off. It was the funniest thing you'd ever see, I'm telling you.
Oh, man, I'm still holding my sight. God dang, that was highly interesting. And speaking of something interesting, thanks to Nick Bondage, Karma is pregnant, and
you know, let me stop you right there. I'll tell you something. At first I thought it was a storyline. Did you guys not think it was a storyline at first?
Yeah.
I was under that suspicion, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Nick has already admitted he's been in the sack with Karma.
Yeah. I'm the resident man whore.
You know, I'm not gonna lie though. She's a really sweet woman. No, I mean, she's a real sweetheart. She really is. She's nice.
I've met her.
She's a very nice Christian. She's a very nice Christian woman, believe it or not. You know, you know what I noticed? There's a lot of Christians in pro wrestling. No, I'm not kidding. There's a lot of Bible thumpers. There's a lot of Bible thumpers in pro wrestling. I'm not even kidding. Like it's like it's not even funny.
Shawn Michaels is one of them. Rey Mysterio.
Oh, Shawn Michaels was a Bible thumper only because he was a fucking loser drug addict that fucking lost everything, and then fucking he looked to fucking Jesus to save him, and you know now all of a sudden he's fucking the Bible. So you know, I mean honestly, but he's a fucking hypocrite, and I'll tell you why. You know, who the fuck is he to preach to anybody saying, "Oh, you can't curse. Oh, you can't do that." I cursed that fucker out one time on the phone. And I'll tell you a story. I'll tell you the story. One day, I'm at a Victory Pro Wrestling show, okay? This is going back years ago. I'm at a Victory Pro Wrestling show, right? And I'm hanging out. I'm talking with a few boys backstage or whatnot. I'm not mentioning any names, but I was talking to a couple of guys backstage or whatever. And there's an agent there. I'm not mentioning his name either, but he knows who he is if he's listening. And I'm sure he is, because anything with my name attached to it, everyone and their mother listens to it usually. But I'll tell you, you know, this agent was on the phone with Shawn Michaels. Now, I'm sorry, if you're going to conduct a business conversation with Shawn Michaels, stop being a fucking mark and go into a fucking room where nobody's there, or go outside and have the business conversation away from other people. Stop trying to be Mr. Big Shot and have a conversation with Shawn Michaels in front of the whole locker room so everybody can mark out to you, or so you hope. So he's having this conversation with Shawn Michaels, a business conversation backstage, which I don't care. I'm minding my own business, talking to my friends backstage or whatnot. And then all of a sudden, the agent comes to me and goes, "Vinny," and I knew this guy too, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not mentioning any names. But he comes to me, he goes, "Vinny," he goes, at the request of Shawn Michaels, can you please stop cursing? So now I'm looking at him like he's got 3 heads on his shoulder. I'm like, what the fuck?
God.
I was like, really? That's what Shawn Michaels said, huh? I fucking took the phone out of his fucking hand. I said, wait a minute, I got this. I was like, Shawn Michaels, huh? He goes, hey, how you doing? I'm like, Shawn. I was like, was he bluffing or did you really say that? He's like, no, well, I really don't like anyone cursing. I was like, shut the fuck up, bro. I was like, let me tell you something. At least I didn't go on national fucking television getting women to take their fucking tops off and saying every curse word there is in the fucking book on what not to say in the FCC regulations. You did that on Monday Night Raw. I was like, who the fuck are you to tell me I can't fucking curse? You are being a fucking hypocrite. I was like, listen, I understand you got your life together, finally, because you were, you had your issues. I was like, I respect the fact that you got your shit together and you looked for Jesus. All great for Jesus. I'm glad he saved you. I was like, but, who the fuck are you? What makes you think that you have the right to be a fucking hypocrite and tell people what to do with their fucking lives just because Jesus saved you? I was like, last I checked, you're not fucking Jesus and you're far from it. I was like, who the fuck are you to tell me I can't fucking curse? If I want to smoke a blunt watching fucking pornography, I'm going to fucking do it. How's that sound? I said, if I want to fucking jerk off to fucking, to Mae Young with my fucking dick in one hand and a blunt in the other, I'm going to do it. I didn't say Mae Young. I forget what I said at the time, but I'm just using that as an example because you just mentioned that before. But needless to say, I basically went off on him and told him to go fuck himself and stop being a fucking hypocrite and I told him to go fuck the Bible again. So that was pretty much the end of that shit. And fucking, you should see the look I got from the boys backstage, like, holy shit, I can't believe he just did that. Well, I don't give a fuck. I respect the fact that he's a legend. I respect the fact that he paved the way for a lot of the boys in the back and shit. I respect the fact that he paved the way for everybody. I understand that. He's a legend. Congratulations to him. But that still doesn't give him the fucking right to fucking dictate to me on what to do with my fucking life. I didn't ask him for his fucking opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Not just you, but anyone. He doesn't, just because, he's Shawn Michaels, that's one thing, but you can't take your name and the Bible and say that, hey, you must do this or you must act this way. He doesn't have that right.
Let me tell you something. Even if he never was a hypocrite, even though, let's just say he was like this his whole life, still doesn't give him the right to fucking tell me what to do with my life. Yeah. But the fact is, he's a hypocrite. He did that shit too. But at least I don't do it on national fucking television. You know?
Yeah.
You remember the DX days when they used to get the women in the front row to take their tops off and shit? And they said every curse word under the sun? You could still find it on YouTube, as a matter of fact.
I have all their DVDs.
Yeah. And you're going to fucking sit there and tell me that I can't fucking curse to my friends in the backstage area? At least I'm not doing it in front of fans. Not that I would give a shit anyway, but that's not the fucking point. It's like, who the fuck is he to tell me what to do? And I was fucking pissed. I was mad that he did that shit. Like, really, like, seriously, like, just because you're a legend. I hate to break the news to them, but I respect all legends. I do. I respect them. I even pick their brain, and I'm cool with most of them. But fucking Shawn Michaels did it. That just put me over the edge. Like, I was, like, so mad. And I don't give a fuck who it is. I don't care if it's the fucking president of the United States. I'm sorry, Obama. I like you and all, but, I don't care if it's the fucking president. You disrespect me, I'm going to fucking give it to you 10 times worse, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I'm a cool motherfucker to get along with. I get along with you guys just great. I get along with everybody. But, man, if someone shits on my fucking plate when I'm eating dinner, I get mad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry. I don't put up with that shit. I don't care who the fuck it is. Fucking, you just don't do that shit. You don't. Fucking, you don't see me kicking dicks out of Shawn Michaels' mouth telling him what to do with his life, right? I mean, really.
Well, anyway, on line 6, James is here. James, how you doing this week?
I'm sunburnt from Monday.
Oh.
I've been better, yeah.
Well, anyway, back to the Karma situation. She had a very interesting tale here. I don't know if you guys caught it, but I want to get your thoughts on it. Vinny, I would like to start with you first. She made mention of the fact that she tried out for Tough Enough 2, and Jim Ross came up to her and said that she was too fat to be a diva and dismissed her. Just like that.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm still waiting for Jim Ross's response on his fucking website about that. As soon as I heard that, I've been on his website every fucking day. Ever since fucking Monday night, I've been on the computer every fucking day for the past 2 days looking for a response from Jim Ross. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people, I'm pretty sure once his name was mentioned, the hits on his website probably went through the fucking roof waiting for a response.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'll tell you this, you know, I don't know if that's true or not, but I just want JR to respond and actually say whether or not that's true or not. Because I want to see if he's going to fucking admit to that.
Well, you know what? Jim Ross has clarified about this here. This is what he had to say. Quote, Karma will never be a standard-issue WWE diva. She's a wrestler and a keeper. JR shout-outs always welcome on Raw. A lot of angry folks ask Karma about the story. She is a wrestler and not a typical WWE diva.
But he never said in that issue that he never said in that statement that she was fat.
Yeah.
He just said she wasn't diva material, but he never said she was fat, from what I remember.
Didn't use the F word, no.
No.
Well, that was the only statement that he issued about the situation was that. Mr. Bondage, when you heard that statement, what was your reaction to it?
Ooh, boy, he sure crawfished real quick, didn't he? And let me politically correctly put this. Yeah, I didn't say that she was fucking fat. I said she wasn't diva material.
Yeah.
Well put, like a true WWE politician.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that entailed that she was fat, but she never actually said it. He just said she wasn't diva material, which, yes, in reference, that probably means that she's fat. But he never actually said it. Unless he said that backstage or something, I don't know how she fucking put that in there, but...
Well, we're not gonna. I'm not gonna question what happened because we weren't there. It was between her and Jim Ross. There's always three sides to a sword. One person's side, the other person's side, and then the actual truth. What happened? But I'm not gonna really make mention about that anymore. All I know is that from what I've understood, she's gonna be gone for the rest of the year, and probably a good chunk of 2012 as well.
Well, I would like to take this time to actually say...
Wait, hold on.
I would like to take this time, though, to actually congratulate her, and
yes.
I would like, I mean, whatever anybody else says, or in a negative way or whatever, the woman is pregnant. Have some fucking respect for her, if anyone's listening, and just, give her congratulations that she's pregnant and that she's getting another life outside of wrestling, and I wish her well with her pregnancy, and I wish her well with the baby. And
of course, there was one person this week who was doing completely the opposite, and it was good old Bubba the Love Sponge.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
Listen to it. Yeah, guys, listen to this. Ashley, talk about it.
Yeah, Bubba the Love Sponge on his show on Friday decided to basically keep the insults going on Karma, whatever you want to call her. Play back the insults that he made the first time when they had their disagreement when they were still in when both of them were in TNA. And basically saying, all this is a cover story about her being pregnant, which,
Wait a minute, hold on. Wait, one second. What did Bubba the Hogan cum sponge say?
Vinny, you beat me to it. I was going to call him that.
Ding, ding, ding.
The secret word.
No, all honesty, though, that's honestly between them, and to be quite honest, I could care less about what happens with any of that situation, or for that matter, the beef between her and Jim Ross is really nobody's business, and it should have never been aired out, even on public national television or the radio, for that matter. And in my opinion, I believe that is unprofessional. and I don't think that should have ever been aired out. I mean, what happens backstage happens backstage. It shouldn't be anyone's fucking business. But needless to say, they air out dirty laundry on TV, just like when Matt Hardy, you know, when the whole thing with Lita cheating on him and shit like that, that was aired out in public eye too, which was, you know, which I thought was stupid and childish, but things like this happen, guys. I mean, it's part of the business. I mean, if you take a dump sideways, you're going to better damn well know that shit's going to make the media. But that's a part of being in this business. If you're going to be in this business, you have to understand if you do make a name for yourself, people will make up lies, or people will actually, if they can find the truth on you, they will exploit you for it. I mean, look at what the media did to fucking Britney Spears, for crying out loud. The damn woman was crazy to begin with, but they made her shave her head bald.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like, the media is fucking brutal, man. You know, they really are.
I don't think it was the media that made her shave her head bald. I think it was Kevin Federline and his...
Ooh.
That's
Yeah,
all I'm
but
going to say.
you want to know something? I don't think that would have happened if the media didn't blow it up as much as they did, because it completely embarrassed the shit out of her. I mean, neither one of them should be... Neither one of them... I mean, in my opinion...
Entertainment, TMZ.
But I'll tell you, though, in my opinion, I don't think either of them should be parents. I mean, those kids belong in fucking foster care, and with parents that actually might give a shit about them. I mean, the only reason... I mean, I understand the judge was choosing lesser of the two evils, but honestly, they're both fuck-up as parents, so fucking take the kids away from both of them. Don't just give them to Kevin. I mean, he's just as equally as a fuck-up as she is. I mean, he might be a little brighter than her, but, you know, but the fact is they're both fucking shitty parents, you know? But I just don't, you know, I think it's ridiculous. But, I mean, if you have two fuck-up parents, you take the kids away from both of them. You don't choose lesser of the two evils. I think that was a fuck-up by the court's eyes. But that's just a matter of opinion. I don't know. What do you guys think? You guys think I'm right on that or no?
Well, the only thing I can say about this was we went from a wrestling conversation to talking about Britney Spears. That's all I can say.
That's my fault. That's my fault, you know. But it goes along with saying, honestly, getting back to the subject, is the fact that the media is brutal, man. And you see, the media tries to fucking make up shit about me. They could do it all they want. It's entertaining me, to be honest. It's not pissing me off. I'm not going to respond to it because I don't give a shit. I'm better than those assholes on the media. I could give a two monkey fucks. I could care less what they think, because in the end, I still have credibility in this business, whether people like me or not. People may love me, people may hate me, but in the end, people always fucking respect me. Why? Because I'm blunt, I say it like it is, and I don't give a flying fuck about what anyone else thinks. And I'm always confident, and I'm successful at everything I fucking do. And it pisses people off. It pisses them off. And you want to know something? I don't give a fuck. I'm not in this for competition. To me, there is no competition. You know, I'm sick and tired of fucking promoters, and I'm talking about the indies now. I'm sick and tired of fucking promoters trying to fucking say, oh, well, I don't want you working for this company, and because it's fucking competition. So, you know what? I think it's fucking great that there's a lot of fucking I think it's great that there's a lot of promotions out there. It gives the boys more work. You should be embracing the business, not trying to fucking ruin it. Stop being a little fucking bitch. Maybe, guess what, if you promoters out there are bitching saying, oh, I don't want you working for them because of, you know, their competition. Stop, you know what, you shouldn't give a fuck about what they're doing. You should be more concerned about what you're doing. Maybe if that happened, then maybe your company would be doing a lot better off than it is now. Stop being a crying little fucking bitch and just fucking move on with your fucking business. Mind your business, do your own thing, and fucking forget about competition. If you really want to beat them, fucking beat them, but don't sit there and pay attention to what they're doing, because that's when you're going to drop the ball. That's the best advice I can give the fucking bitchy-ass promoters out there.
Including a certain one in Puerto Rico, I would assume. Anyway, speaking of fuck-ups, hold on. Speaking of fuck-ups, James, I'll go to you on this one. Man, you can only imagine how much WWE technical producers were sweating their balls off the first 10 minutes of Monday Night Raw when it seems like, you know, everything that could go wrong with the show went wrong this Saturday.
I was quite entertained, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it's like a badly dubbed Japanese movie. It was like the first 10 minutes, especially with the audio being off. Well, wouldn't you agree there, James?
Yeah, I have to agree. That's kind of like screwy. I didn't get a chance to watch it live, but I saw the replay, and then I like, damn. Really? But then I got an update to that Karma thing with JR.
Uh-huh.
He put it on his Q&A because someone asked him about this. He said, Karma tried out for Tough Enough in Vegas at an open casting call for seeing hundreds of potential talent. I never told her she was too fat, but she was too big at the time to be cast in a role, that the role criteria has been clearly outlined to us.
Hmm.
Well, that pretty much said what I said. He never actually called her fat. My point exactly.
But it was just Karma wording it in a certain way that's gotten everybody fired up, and that's why apparently Jim Ross was probably getting a million questions about what he said about Karma. Vinny, I wonder if you can give us your opinion about the new heel turn they're going with R-Truth.
Well, I think it's good because he's getting a push, but, I mean, to be quite, I mean, if you guys remember, you know, when he was in TNA, he had quite a lot of pushes. And he hasn't really had any in WWE, and, I mean, do you guys remember when he was K-Quick? Remember that shit?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Oh, yeah, with Road Dogg.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't even fucking have a push with that either. You know, and I remember even Road Dogg when he was fucking, when he was Jeff Jarrett's fucking lackey in WWE, remember that?
Oh, yes.
He was the roadie. Yeah. But you want to know something, though? Getting back to the other subject at hand, the one that we were talking about, the technical difficulties, here's my opinion on that. Now, every now and then when I'm at a party, I get bored, and I pop in a fucking porn video just for shits and giggles so everybody at the party can watch. Oh, wait, it gets better, the best part is everybody crowds around the fucking, you know, the sofa and shit because they want to see what I'm going to do. Because that's basically what everyone does. That's why people pay attention to me, because they want to see what I'm going to do or say next. So that's why I always get so many people like you guys always asking me to come back on, because it's fun. You want to see what I'm going to say. You want to see what I'm going to say next. Well, I'll tell you, you know, we popped that some bitch in. We popped the fucking porn video in the fucking VCR at the time, because this is going way back in the day. And this is before DVDs even came out. So we popped that fucking porn video in the VCR, right? And I lower the volume all the way. I put it on mute. And what I do is I like to fucking, like, you know, I like to do my own voiceover, you know, and actually make fun of it. And be like, oh, Jimmy, can you please, you know, like, you know, I'll just start, like, making shit up, you know? And everybody's laughing their asses off because I'm, like, totally sabotaging the video, you know? And it basically reminds me of that, because during the technical difficulties, it was complete dead silent. But you see them moving their lips on the screen and shit and saying this and that. And I was bored, and I was like, you know what? I'm bored watching WWE product anyway. But I might as well make it entertaining at this point. So I just started doing it on my own, entertaining myself. Because, yeah, I know I'm not crazy, but sometimes you get so bored you want to entertain yourself sometimes. So I figured if I can entertain everybody else, fuck it. Why can't I if I can entertain everybody else, why can't I entertain myself? Because the best way to entertain other people is you got to entertain yourself first. Try it out, you know. If it makes you laugh, it should make other people laugh, you know. So I was like, all right. So, you know, I started fucking, you know, doing the shit that I used to do back when I was a teenager, and I started fucking, you know, making my own fucking dialogue, you know. It was pretty funny, actually. It was the first time that WWE was actually interesting, was when they had a fuck-up. I mean, like I said, capital punishment. They couldn't be any more direct on that fucking name of the fucking pay-per-view. Yeah. Because it's punishment to watch WWE pay-per-views. It really is punishment.
It's been a punishment to watch those ads.
Just after the previous pay-per-view, when the whole promo was lack of entertainment.
You got a point there. Final recap of Monday Night Raw, ladies and gentlemen, with the R-Truth segment with John Cena. Dolph Ziggler defeated Kofi Kingston in a very interesting match. We had Alberto Del Cuifo. I'll say it again, Alberto Del Cuifo. I'll say it one more time. Alberto Del Cuifo and his segment involving the Big Show. We did make mention of about this last week. They kind of writ Big Show off due to an injury he possibly suffered at a house show when he landed on his knee. So they did the whole segment last week with him being run over just to get him out of there so he can have some time to heal up on that. Kelly and Eve defeated the Bellas. All I can say is why, and it It was boring, but again, we get to see Kelly, Eve, and the Bellas. And I'm not talking about wrestling. I'm talking about the lack of clothing they're wearing. Anyway, Michael Cole and Alex Riley, they had their segment. Michael Cole sucking Mrs. Dick again. Anyway, and then we had CM Punk and Rey Mysterio. Quick statement I would like to make. Now, on Blog TV, I like to be on the air to give my live reactions during the shows. And during this point in the show, there was some idiot in there. For some reason, even though he doesn't have any respect, I'm not going to mention his name because his name is not worth it, and I'm not going to give him any attention here on WGS Radio by mentioning his name. But he decided to come into my chat room. Andy knows exactly who I'm talking about. He decided to come into my chat room and start all kinds of nonsense. Now, if you want to join me on Blog TV during the shows and talk with me in the chat room and give your live reactions, you guys are more than welcome. But don't come into my chat room and start some nonsense about Sonic burgers. Okay?
Wait a minute. Hold on 1 second. Wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
Are you a Bobo? I have a question. Are you a Bobo?
I am not a Bobo, but I had a Bobo trolling me on Monday Night Raw.
No, but there's a reason I asked that, because you have the option to hit the fuck you button and dump the fucker off the fucking chat room.
But here's the problem. He's already admitted he's got 5,000 accounts on Blog TV, so no matter how many times he banned him, he comes right back.
So it's very simple. You make a complaint to Blog Talk Radio, tell them to find out that IP address, because the IP address, he may have 5,000 different screen names. However, he might not have 5,000 IP addresses. He only has one IP address. So get them to fucking ban the IP address, and then he can't get back on.
Which has already been done. I want to let you guys know that. But anyway,
CM Punk. Hold on. Billy, so this was during Monday Night Raw. He was talking about Sonic Burger? What the hell?
Yeah, anyway, CM Punk and Rey Mysterio had a really good match. Then we had Karma's announcement. Evan Bourne and Jack Swagger. Are they developing another feud between these two? Or are they just finally doing something with Evan Bourne? Or are they just bored? By the way, I'm calling Michael Cole out. He fucked up another move. Jack Swagger does not have a gut-wrench suplex as a finisher. It's a power bomb. Come on, you dumb fuck. You're supposed to be on national TV. Know your wrestling moves, you idiot. Then
let me tell you something. That is definitely true, but I'll tell you this. That just proves my point about the draft being fucking retarded. You're giving us the same fucking matches that we've seen. When you do a draft, give us new fucking matches that nobody has seen before. That's the whole purpose to the fucking draft. You fucking idiots that are fucking doing the storyline writing. You know who the fuck you are. Fucking get with the program. Give us matches that we've never seen before. Make WWE entertainment. Make fucking WWE entertaining to watch. I mean, hello, it's called Worldwide Entertainment, not wrestling, because they're not wrestlers anymore.
Yeah.
But they're Worldwide Entertainment. If you're going to have entertainment in your name, be fucking entertaining! Holy shit!
Amen, brother. Amen. And then in the main event, R-Truth defeated John Cena by countout, which ended the show really, really badly. Now, Ashley, before you give us your final thought.
One last thing I have to say this. If you're going to give us new matches, because that is a new match, John Cena versus R-Truth, I understand, all right, that's a new match. But if you're going to give us new matches, make that amazing too! Make that entertaining too! Make that shit entertaining! Don't give us a new match and fucking make it shit! Okay,
well,
now you go on.
All right, now, Ashley, we have an interesting development when it comes to R-Truth and John Cena.
Yeah. There was a match between, I believe it was CM Punk and Cena afterwards, and then this happened. Yeah, he didn't appear very much in the night, but right after the show went off the air, general manager chimed in and said, at Capital Punishment, R-Truth will face John Cena on one condition, that R-Truth apologizes.
For all of his actions.
On Monday Night Raw. Yeah. Apologize for cocking up. Yeah. My thoughts on the whole problems with the technical things at the start is and now so, did that come through all right?
Oh God, that's fucking too good. You know, it's so true, though. I mean, if you think about it, it's ridiculous. It really is. Like, fucking, it's just disastrous. Like, why don't they call it DWE? Oh, no. DNE is what they should call it.
DNE?
Yes, disaster non-entertainment.
Wow. Well, let's go to Mr. Bondage. Mr. Bondage, your final thoughts on Monday Night Raw.
Oh gosh, you know, it was just disappointing as ever. Just as bad of a week as it was last week.
Hey, I do have a problem for everybody's solutions. How many people that are listening right now have problems sleeping at night?
Not me.
This is an honest question. It's an honest question. How many people listening have problems sleeping at night?
That sounds good.
Not me.
I found the cure for insomnia. What? I'm telling you, put WWE programming on your DVR, and you watch it, and it puts you to sleep. It's the cure for insomnia. It is. It's the cure for insomnia. I'm not even kidding. Like, if you're fuck sleeping pills, you'll get addicted and probably die of an overdose. Fuck that. Do it the natural way. Do it the natural way. Watch WWE programming, and hopefully you may not die from the travesty by watching it, and just actually go to sleep. It'll put you right to sleep, I promise.
All right, well, let's go to the king of his own double-wide trailer. That is Chase Matthews, and getting his thoughts on Monday Night Raw.
I thought the only best part about that show was Kelly's ass shot.
Well,
Did you get a boner?
Huh?
Did you get a boner?
Yeah.
Oh, Brie Bella had... Well, Brie Bella, to counter that, Brie Bella had some pretty nice ass shots in that match, too.
Oh, really?
What about boob shots?
Cue the porno music.
Hey, I had another boner when Karma came out, too.
Hey, I found out the reason. Now I know. Guys, you want the answer to why TNA got rid of the TNA letters?
Yeah?
I'll tell you why. It's because WWE is now showing tits and ass. So, yes, WWE is showing tits and ass again because they used to go to a PG rating, and slowly but surely they're making their way back to PG-13 again. But they're going to start calling them TNA now because WWE likes to change their names around a lot. TNA wants to copy them and change their name from TNA to Impact Wrestling. And WWE is going to now steal their old name, and they're going to call them TNA now because they're showing tits and ass now. Because if you remember correctly, I believe it was Maurice used to have these outfits where her cleavage was showing all the time. And then for a while, she had a screen over that part. You notice she had like that cover-up screen on it? You know, it was like a black cover-up screen on it?
Yeah.
Well, if you notice, they took that away, and it's back to seeing her cleavage again. Yeah, it's back to seeing her cleavage again. So WWE wants to steal their letters and call themselves TNA now. That's my solution to the whole thing. That's the only thing that makes sense to me about this whole name-changing bullshit. But, I don't know. That's just the way it is. Hey, guys, guess what? I'm going to be, normally I'm a bad guy manager on the indies, but I'm actually wrestling in a steel cage this Saturday night.
Damn! Really?
Oh,
Where?
Yes, I am. I'm wrestling in a steel cage. It's going to be at ECPW. Actually, Five Boroughs comes to Central Islip, Long Island, New York, at the Reed Middle School gym. And there's going to be actually a pretty good line of celeb people that are going to be there, including one that cum guzzling twat waffle that I don't like. And it's mainly because I'm not saying it, but one of the sponsors wanted her there. So, but she's only going to be signing autographs for an hour and a half in the beginning, and then she's leaving. And they promised to put her on the opposite side of the table of where I'm going to be. And that's Tammy Sitch. Tammy Sitch Sonny, a.k.a., is going to be there signing autographs from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. signing autographs. We're also going to have Gene Snitsky is going to be there. You remember Gene Snitsky? He had the whole foot fetish thing in WWE.
It's not my fault.
Yeah, he's going to be there. Gene Snitsky's going to be there. Amazing Red isn't wrestling on the card, but he is going to be signing autographs. Gene Snitsky is actually wrestling for the ECPW heavyweight title. There's also
With or without yellow teeth?
Yeah, I know. Oh, I remember that part, too, yeah. But, yeah, like I said, Gene Snitsky's going to be there. Amazing Red's going to be there signing autographs. Rosita from Mexican America on TNA, she's going to be there signing autographs.
Arriba.
Robbie E is wrestling in a match, and he's signing autographs. Robbie E will be there. Cookie's not going to be there, but Robbie E... Yeah, Cookie's not going to be there, but Robbie E will. Former NWA legend, the Math Superstar is going to be there. He's also a WWE... He was never in the WWE Hall of Fame, but he's a kind of a WWE legend also, as the Math Superstar. And no, it's not Bill Eadie, Axe from Demolition, for all that is wondering. There was more than one... Mass Superstar in wrestling. Also, who else is going to be there? There's going to be a lot of people there. I'm trying to think who else. Well, anyway, there's going to be a tables match. That ends in pinfall. There's going to be a street fight that's going to be there. ECPW street fight, and there's going to be 10 matches altogether. The proceeds are going to the it's going to go to the Central Islip District for the sports program because the budget passed, but that doesn't include sports programs and stuff like that.
Can I ask this question?
Yeah.
How does a table match end in a pinfall?
Well, they put them through the table, and then they have to pin them. So, yeah, it's a little more difficult. You can't just put them through the table. You have to put them through the table.
No stupid Sheamus shit in ECPW.
You have to actually, you can't pin anybody until you put someone through the table. You have to put both members, because it's a tag team tables match. You have to put both members through a table, and then you have the right to pin someone after that. So that's the way that's going down. But like I said, there's going to be 10 matches, there's going to be celebrities, there's other people that are going to be there too. I just can't think off the top of my head. I believe Melissa Coates is going to be there. She was on Extreme Dodgeball for 3 seasons on the Game Show Network. She's going to be there, and she's going to be there as well. There's going to be a whole bunch of people there. There's going to be so many other celebrities there. I mean, if you go on my wall, if you go to my Facebook wall at www.facebook.com/official Vinny The Guido, the flyer is on the wall, and you can check out, see who's going to be there and what matches are going to be there. But again, that's going to be this Saturday night at Central Islip, New York, on Long Island. It's going to be at the Reed Middle School gym, so come down and check it out. Tickets are only $12 and $15. Tickets are selling out pretty quickly, so you might want to get there early to get good seats. On another note, if you want to get more information on that, you could also go to www.ecpw1.com. That's ECPW, the number 1, not ONE for the fucking illiterates out there. It's www.ecpw1.com. And you can buy your tickets in advance online as well through PayPal and check out the flyer as well. On other ventures or whatnot, if it's no rain this Sunday, I'm going to be doing a charity event for autism. It's going to be a car show. It has nothing to do with wrestling, but the Batmobile is going to be there. Wow. Yep, the Batmobile is going to be there. And it's going to be a really good show. I'm actually doing a comedy bit on stage. It's going to be like, there's going to be a magician, Harry Mandel, is going to be there doing the magic acts, and I'm actually going to be doing it with him. And it's going to be a big comedy magic act, and it's actually the main attraction of the night there. It's actually going to be pretty funny. If you're in New York, if you're in Long Island, New York, and you're anywhere near New York, you might want to check it out. It's going to be pretty entertaining. You're going to, if you think this radio show
Vinny,
is funny,
I hate to cut you off. You off over less than 30 seconds left until we hit the archive, so be sure that you guys tune into the archive here on Blog Talk Radio and iTunes, and don't forget, also on YouTube, youtube.com/WrestleGamer, to listen to the entire show, as we'll have more Vinny The Guido and everybody's reactions to Monday Night Raw.
I suggest you people listen to it, because I'll tell you, if you think this was good, the next couple of half hour to 45 minutes is going to be even better, so make sure you listen to the archive, you fuckheads, otherwise you're missing out.
Anyway, now that we are here on the archive, let's go to WWE Fan. WWE Fan, your final thoughts from Monday Night Raw.
Okay, it was a good week, and a question for Nick Bondage and Vinny. Did you think R-Truth went too far to throw soda into the fan's face.
Well,
yeah,
you know what?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, you know, for an indie show, that's fine to have a plant like that. But a big production like WWE, I mean, really, it's kind of unnecessary, and it just goes to show that guys like that, when they're, trying to get over, they just grasp at any straw that they can get their hands on to try to get themselves over.
Vinny, would you agree with that?
Well, I'll tell you, that must have been the part where I was falling asleep. I don't know. No, I do remember that part. No, all kidding aside, I do remember that part. But to me, it was too Bush League, if you want my opinion.
Exactly.
It seemed, like you said before, it seemed kind of indie-ish. Although, that's actually an improvement if you think about it, because not for nothing, but the Indies is more entertaining than WWE programming. So
yeah, true.
Maybe they got sick of people saying that shit on the media. So maybe they said, maybe we should do indie shit,
Maybe they heard me say it on my YouTube channel, because I said that a lot of times on there on a lot of my videos.
You can't really knock it. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, honestly, I think it was better than what they normally do. At least they're at least. But it would have been better, instead of doing it to a plant, it would have been better doing it to a real fan. It would have made more sense.
Yeah.
At least
I'll
tell you why. I'll tell you why, though. Yeah, but you know what? I'll tell you why it would have been good if they did it to a regular fan instead of a plant. And it's because you want to make the fans feel like they're a part of the show. You know what I'm saying? You want to make the fans feel like they're a part of the show. If you got somebody in a fucking headlock and you're the heel, it takes 2 seconds to look at somebody in the first or second row and be like, yeah, what do you think of your boy now, huh? They're like, fuck you, blah, blah, blah. And now it gets the fans into it, because now they feel like they're part of the show. So instead of picking on a plant, why don't you pick on an actual fan and make them feel like they're part of the show? Because let's face it, if you ever went to a comedy show before, like a to go see stand-up comedy, the people who sit in the front or in the first and second row, they sit there on purpose for a reason. It's because they want to feel like they're part of the show. They want to get picked on by the comedian. Like, I'm sorry, if you sit in the front row at a wrestling event and I'm walking around ringside, I'm going to say, shut your mouth, fat boy, go stuff your face with a Twinkie. And then they all get in my face like, you motherfucker, I'm going to kick your ass, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, that's why you're standing on that side of the guardrail and I'm on this side and you're paying to see me. I said, you're here to see me. I said, you're here to see me, and I get cheap heat. Cheap heat is great, but the fans love cheap heat. They want you to make them feel like they're a part of the show. That's why they pay money to come see an indie show, because they want to feel like they're a part of the fucking show. So WWE, or any network wrestling for that matter, listen up and fucking pay attention, and you may learn something. If you want to get ratings back instead of watching it plummet faster than a nugget going down the toilet, I suggest you listen to what I have to fucking say, because this isn't a promo, this is a fucking shoot. If you want your ratings to go up, and you want your fucking, you want your attendance in the arenas to go up, why don't you try involving the fucking fans in the show, instead of having John Cena point around to the fucking crowd saying, yeah, all of you. I'm sorry, you're not going to get a pop that way unless you include one the whole thing is, and this is it in a nutshell, this is a shoot, and it's the truth, and it's real. If you pay attention to the indies, and you might pay attention to indie wrestling, and you may learn something, Vince. I'm not even kidding. Like, go back to the fucking heritage of what pro wrestling is truly about. It's about entertaining the fans that are in the building at that precise moment and entertain them. Find a fan in the front, in the first, second, third, fourth, or fifth row. Just point someone out and give them fucking a smidge of attention. Forget the rest of the fans that are in the building. All you have to do is single a few people out, and it makes people want to actually come to your show again. Start doing that again. Start involving the crowd that's there. I mean, you can involve everybody else in the crowd also, but every now and then involve one or two people that are sitting in the first or second or third row. That's why they pay that much money to sit up in the front, so they can get picked on by the wrestler. That's the whole fucking thing. So, Vince, be fucking smart and listen to what I say, and your attendance will go up. Take advice from me.
I used to love it when Ric Flair would do it back in WCW days. He'd walk out of the ring and had his whole, Space Mountain promo, and then tell the fat boy, "Shut up, fat boy." It was, it was great. And that was even in WCW.
And tell me that fucking fat guy didn't get up and start saying, "Fuck you, I'll kick your ass," and blah, blah, blah. No, that's fucking priceless. I mean, that's why they love that shit. They want to feel like they're a part of the show. That's the whole thing. And tell me that didn't entertain you when that happened.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure
Anything Ric Flair does is entertaining.
And one quick question: who was that guy who got the soda? Does anybody know?
I think it was an actor from Canada.
Okay.
Who is that asked the question? I'm sorry. I'm hearing all those voices. I couldn't hear who asked the question.
It was a WWE fan.
Oh,
that's his name on here. That's his name on here, WWE fan.
Yeah, but what's his real name? I don't want to call him WWE fan, and I don't know why you're a fucking
Jordan.
fan of WWE anyway, but that's not the point.
Jordan. It's Jordan.
Yes, yeah.
Jordan, okay. Jordan, great. All right, well, I'll tell you, thank you for calling in, and hopefully you're having a good time listening to me being a complete asshole on the air.
And just to point out, Mr. Bondage, you've done your fair share of singling out fans before at wrestling shows, am I correct?
Absolutely. That's your bread and butter right there, baby. I mean, you gotta do what you can to make them feel part of the show, and then they're going to go home and tell their aunts and uncles and cousins and brothers and sisters that, hey, it's a audience participation event,
Bondage, where do you wrestle out of right now, currently?
Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Florida, Arkansas, Oklahoma. Texas.
Oklahoma, really? Because we're starting a new Fed out there. And within the next, I'd say 3 to 7 months, we're going to be starting a new promotion out there. Mm-hmm. It's going to be in the Oklahoma, Texas areas. We're going to call it Heritage Wrestling Alliance.
Okay.
And I'm helping them book it because I'm actually the owner of Top of the Line Talent Bookings. And you can find that at www.facebook.com/Top of the Line Talent Bookings. And that's the URL. I am the owner of Top of the Line Talent Bookings. I book for several major stars. I'm not mentioning who because I want you to go to the page and check it out. And you'll probably shit your pants. And you'll probably shit your pants when you see the actual people that I do represent, because you'll be like, "Holy shit, how did he land that?" I will give you one name. I'll give you one name just to make you go look at it, because I am the only agent right now for Percy Pringle, a.k.a. Paul Bearer.
I know Bill Moody very well.
Yep, and I am the only agent for him right now. He takes his own bookings, but I'm his only agent that handles more bookings for him. So,
yeah. So, I've worked a lot with Bill. Actually, he used to manage me in Mobile, and so.
Do you remember when he was in Texas? And it was many, many years ago. He took down that banner. I forget what the name of the Fed was at the time. But it was at the arena. I believe it was, I don't know if it was Amarillo, Texas. I forget where it was exactly. But it was in Texas, and they took this big banner down or whatever. My friend Paula Joe talks about it all the time. She usually listens to a lot of the radio shows that I've done in the past, because I used to host a lot of radio shows when I, about a year or so ago. I pretty much, I used to be a host of a wide variety of radio shows, one of them being Michael Porter's Wrestle Shoot, God Rest Michael Porter's Soul. I was a co-host of Michael Porter's Wrestle Shoot. I was a host on the Unrated Hour for a while. I was also the host of Tales of the Squared Circle, and all these shows were on Blog Talk Radio. But I've done a lot of interviews in my time of doing radio for 2 or 3 years, and I finally just threw in the towel with it because I just don't have time to do it anymore. Now that I got my talent agency, I haven't had time to even do it. I mean, I was lucky I came here in enough time to do this radio show, so, and I'm lucky if I have time to eat, breathe, or shit after having 2 kids, trying to run a talent bookings agency, trying to fucking travel on the weekends to do wrestling shows, and, all this, and where do I have time to do radio shows anymore? I just don't.
Preaching to the choir, brother.
I still get offers to this day that people want me to co-host their radio shows, and I just can't do it. I honestly cannot do it. It was fun. I miss it dearly, but you just have to let some things go because there's only 24 hours in a day. So
Right. Preaching to the choir, brother.
yeah, I mean, it sucks. But so all right, so bondage, if you don't mind me asking, where are you from currently?
I'm stationed right here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Oh, okay, all right. So you're not too far from Lafayette then.
No, about 45 minutes away.
Oh, all right. So then you must know Jazz and
Rodney? Yes, very
Rodney
well.
Mack. Yeah.
Yeah, very well. Actually, I did
how many years have you been in the business for now?
13.
Oh, okay, all right. Wow, I'm sorry to hear that, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I've been in the business about 7 or 8 years, and and I'm pretty sorry myself that I haven't even been in it this long. But I mean, it's pretty pathetic. Well, you know what? The West Coast is a lot better, and so is down south. But the Northeast is just flat out fucking retarded when it comes to indie shows. I mean, there's more politics in fucking the indies than there is in the fucking U.S. government and the networks combined. I mean,
well, my problem is I would love to go down to Florida and try to give it a shot. I mean, I wrestled a lot in Florida, down in FCW before Vince bought it out when it was, Kevin Sullivan's deal. But
and Kern
I
too,
just
right?
don't see, I'm sorry.
Kern too, right?
Yeah. But I just don't see the point of having to go in and pay $2,500 and start over from scratch. It's just asinine to me at this point,
I mean, there's other solutions. I mean, you still got TNA, Ring of Honor is now bought out. Kerry Silka no longer owns that. I don't know if you guys got the news bit on that, but Kerry Silka no longer owns Ring of Honor anymore.
Yeah, Ashley has the very new story about it.
Broadcasting Corporation, I think, now owns it, and they're going to also be doing the TV stuff for them when it starts, I think, in about August, September time.
Yeah.
Well, I'd love to, I've tried to contact a couple agents and go that route and see what I can make of it like that. So I'll definitely be contacting you and getting in touch and swapping, stories and ideas and what have you, or even, business.
I mean, I've heard of you, if that's any consolation. Believe me, I'm pretty sure you've heard of me. So.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you. I appreciate that compliment.
If you sneeze cockeyed, you probably heard of me. So it's it's just that's just it. I mean, I don't know why and how my name even got as big as it did, but I mean, maybe it's because I'm blunt and I'm honest and I say it like it is, which is rare in this business because usually people are blowing smoke up people's asses and. No, but that's the thing. I mean, everybody's blowing smoke up people's. Yeah, but that's the thing. Everybody's blowing smoke up people's asses, and people have their heads so far up the other person's ass that you don't know where the person ends and the other person begins. So, but I'm not like that. I don't give a fuck who it is. If somebody's being shady, I'm going to call them out on their bullshit. I don't give a fuck. And if I burn a bridge, wait, but let me tell you something. If I burn a bridge, it's because I meant to burn that fucking bridge, and I have no plans of going back to it. So
I can't tell you how many promotions I've gotten fired from.
Wait, say that again?
I said I can't tell you how many promotions I've gotten fired from and banned from and.
Well, no, that's just. But that's just it, though. If I get fired, yeah, but let me tell you something. If I get fired, I will be the first to fucking admit it. But every time I leave a company, it's because I fucking walked out on them so far, and then they lie about it on the media, saying and making up a big elaborate story saying that I got fired, like Puerto Rico, for example. Like, they make up these fucking big elaborate lies, which isn't even anywhere close to the truth. The fact is, I walked out on them. And if I did get fired, I'd admit it. I would. I have no problem admitting it. If I got fired, it's probably because I'm an asshole. But let me tell you something. I'm an asshole to people who deserve it. I'm not an asshole to the people who don't deserve it. So if you're not shady and you're a good fucking promoter and you actually have credibility, I'm probably going to be cool as shit with you. If you actually do things and actually pay workers and not promise them something and then not be a dick and fucking screw them over, guess what? I'll be cool with you. But if you're going to be a shady fucking lowball motherfucker, I'm going to fucking have it out with you, motherfucker. Because I want to get rid of pieces of shit cancer like people that do shit like that. And another thing I don't like is when people make fun of the fucking handicap. I can't stand it when people make fun of handicapped people, because that makes them more handicapped than the people they're making fun of anyway. I don't like it when fucking people try to get nonprofit organizations shut down if they're doing things the right way. I mean, honestly, I mean, the whole... And yes, I know what the media is going to say about the whole thing that happened with me and Dawn Marie and Wrestlers Rescue and shit like that. But that wasn't a registered charity anyway. At least that's what a fucking lawyer said. But what I find fucking remotely hilarious is back in 2009, when that cum-guzzling twat waffle Dawn Marie was on a fucking interview with fucking, I believe it was Dark Match Radio at the time, by Wacko Bob. He actually interviewed her, and she said in 2009 on an interview there, and you can look it up, it's www.blogtalkradio.com/The Wacko Weekly. And look for the Dark Match episode with Dawn Marie in 2009. And she said, and I quote, she said that Wrestlers Rescue was almost done with the paperwork to make it a non-profit organization. She also said that if you donate any memorabilia to her or anything, you make any donations to her whatsoever, to Wrestlers Rescue, that you'll get a tax write-off. In that same interview, she said that she was going to get Dr. Death Steve Williams a voice box for his throat. And she promised him a whole bunch of shit that they never got. The family never got it. He never got it. And what she did with the fucking money is beyond me. I have no idea. Just like she promised Michael Porter to fucking help him out with his fucking situation. Fucking, even fucking Chris Masters. Yes, Chris Masters in WWE. Him and his wife donated a giant box of fucking 8x10s and fucking memorabilia and shit like that, and donated it to Wrestlers Rescue for Michael Porter's issue, whatnot. And Dawn Marie claims that all she got in the box was 3 signed 8x10s. And Michael Porter, of course, never got a red cent towards anything either. She pocketed that money, too. And so I call up Chris Masters' wife. I didn't say what my name was or not, because I wanted to stay, well, I guess they're going to know now if they listen to this, but I called up as an alias. Just to double
That's
check.
a big if.
I said, I heard you guys donated a box of, a memorabilia for Michael Porter, and I'm a friend of Michael Porter's, but I'm not giving you my name because I want to, pretty much stay out of the heat of what's going to happen. Because I'm pretty sure if I said who I was, they might not have told me, but I basically said, I heard, congratulations, thank you very much for having a heart and helping Michael Porter. I said, I just need to know. I mean, Dawn Marie's claiming that in that box, though, there was only 3 signed 8x10s. Is that true? His wife said, no, that's not true. We sent a whole box of a whole bunch of 8x10s, memorabilia, and all this stuff. I was like, well, I don't mean to piss you off or nothing, but Dawn Marie's saying that there was only 3 signed 8x10s in there. And she's claiming that, there wasn't really anything in there other than that, and that she couldn't have enough money to pay Michael Porter. Well, they were pretty pissed off. So, if anybody ever gets a hold of Chris Masters, you might want to ask him that fucking question. But I'll tell you this, I mean, Dawn Marie was crooked. And I find it quite funny how her lawyer is saying, oh, well, remember when the UK Sun fucking, with the, what's his name? Forget his name, Mike something or whatever. But anyway, fucking, the lawyer said that, first of all, it's not a registered charity, and she doesn't have to prove anything of where the money went. And her lawyer is also threatening everybody that, like the media and everybody, including myself, because I got a letter from her lawyer in the fucking email, stating that if that he wanted me, and I'm sure every other fucking media person got this, said that if we don't pay them money, I think it was $250,000 or some shit like that, because it was defamation of character and slander, that basically we'd probably like get arrested, or they're just basically saying that I was getting sued or whatnot. And so I sent them a nice little lengthy email back saying, you may be able to bully other people around, but you're not bullying me around. first of all, you're not getting a red fucking cent, motherfucker. I said, number two, oh, it gets better. Oh, it gets better. I said, number two, I said, first of all, I don't have a job on the book because I work off the books, asshole. I was like, secondly, so they can't freeze my paychecks. I was like, secondly, I don't have a bank account that you could freeze, in the United States anyway. I said, you don't, I was like, I don't have anything that you could actually touch, and I'm broke. I don't have any money. I don't know what you're talking about. I was like, so even if you do, I said, even if you, yeah, well, that's the thing. I said, even if you, oh, God. I said, even if you do win, you're not going to get anything. It's like, I was like, let me ask you a question. I said, can you get blood from a stone? Because that's what's going to happen if you take me to court. Even if you win, which you're not, but even if you win, you're not going to get anything. I was like, but I am going to win, and I'll tell you why. I said, first of all, your client in 2009 said this, and that, what I told you guys before. And I sent him the link. I said, this is the first bit of proof that I have against your client. And it will hold up in court, too. I was like, because your client knew she was being recorded because she was on a radio show. I said, this is the one bit of proof that I have against your client. I said, I have a lot more, and if you want to find out, take me to court. I dare you. I said, I would love to take this to court. I was like, if you think it hit the media now with the fucking wrestling media and shit, I was like, that's nothing. If you take me to court, I'll make sure it's on CNN, Channel 12, Channel 7, Channel 4, Channel 2. I said, the whole goddamn fucking world's going to fucking know what's going on to Dawn Marie. I was like, I'll fucking make that bitch's life a living hell if I haven't already. I was like, nobody fucks my fucking friends over. Nobody fucks my fucking friends over. Because if they fuck my friends over, you're fucking trying to fuck me over, and I don't like that shit. I stick up for my friends, just like I stick up for my family. And I said, anybody who's tarnishing this business that I fucking once loved, notice I said once loved, it's really screwed up because this business is being tarnished every day by fucking pieces of shit cancer like Dawn Marie. And fucking, and yes, Tammy Sitch, Missy Hyatt, fucking, and that cum guzzling twat waffle Terry Reynolds, they're all had their hand in the cookie jar with Wrestlers Rescue. And it's funny because all of a sudden, fucking Tammy Sitch all of a sudden claims that she had nothing to do with Wrestlers Rescue all of a sudden. But everybody knew she was Dawn Marie's bend-over buddy, And
damn.
and all of a sudden now she's saying she had nothing to do with Wrestlers Rescue. Then you got Missy Hyatt blowing up her spot, sending in a fucking press release saying that Tammy Sitch did have something to do with Wrestlers Rescue. She may not anymore, but she did, and she's fucking lying. And then Tammy Sitch comes back on with another press release saying, all right, I used to, but I don't anymore. I don't want to be associated with them, and blah, 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 blah. Now, all because of, now, just to give you guys the heads up, I was the first person to make that fucking shit public to the media. It was me. And then everybody else jumped on my fucking bandwagon. But I was the first person to call that bitch out on the crooked shit she was doing with Wrestlers Rescue because she fucked with my friends. And fucking everybody else jumped on my fucking bandwagon, which is good, which is commendable because you're jumping on the right bandwagon. At least I'm doing the right thing and getting rid of cancer in this business. But I'll tell you this. I told that lawyer, I was like, let's fucking go to court. I was like, I gave you one bit of proof. I was like, the rest you're going to get in court, and I promise you're going to lose. I was like, not only that, but I even have witnesses that will go on the fucking stand on my behalf. So I was like, you want to fuck with me? I was like, let's dance, bro. Let's take this to court. I did not get one fucking response back from that lawyer. He probably, and then I sent him, and then about another week later, I sent him another message. I was like, that's funny, I didn't get a response from you. I said, but if I were you, and I'm giving you advice because you're a law firm, I was like, I suggest you drop her as a client because if you don't, it's going to ruin the credibility of your law firm. Have a nice day, and I fucking left it at that. I don't even know if he's her lawyer anymore, to be honest with you. But I wonder if he was smart and took my advice. So what do you guys think about that shit?
Well, you should take that advice. You should take that advice.
Yeah.
You see, I told you the archive was going to be better than the original shit that we did before.
On that note,
he was saving the good stuff for the archive, so we'll have to change the description and say to everybody, listen to the archive.
What kind of shitty shit in the 13 years you've been in this business? What kind of shitty shit have you seen in this business?
Man, I have seen relatives sell out relatives. I've seen best friends of 20 years sell each other out and throw each other under the bus. I've seen people dump handicapped people out of wheelchairs.
Wow.
Oh gosh, husbands and wives sleeping with other husbands and wives, and just you name it, I've seen it.
Oh, here's another question for you. In the 13 years you've been in the business, how many times did you get stiffed in money by promoters?
Oh gosh, in the early days it wasn't frequent, but it happened. But nowadays it's like, fuck you, give me my money. If not, I take something worth my money.
But do you get the rest of your money before you step foot in the ring, or are you to wait till after the show is over?
After the show's over.
That's where you drop the ball, my friend.
Yeah,
You're asking to get stiffed by money.
Yeah.
You got to get your money before you step foot in the ring. Because if you go to my top of the line talent bookings page, right on Facebook, if you go to info, which is under the profile picture, if you click on the tab info, it tells you what the requirements are if promoters want to book from any of my clients.
Mm-hmm.
And it distinctly says that they have to give a deposit up front, they have to cover the travel and the hotel up front. I have to get the email confirmations of everything so I know they're not blowing smoke up my ass. And I told them, and it also says that as soon as the talent arrives to their venue, they must pay them the rest of the money that they owe them. Otherwise, the talent will not step foot in the ring.
Well, so far I've been pretty lucky, and haven't really had that problem. I've gained that reputation where people know that you pay me, you don't ask me to take a pay cut, or you don't come to me with a sob story that ticket sales weren't good, because I don't want to hear it.
And I promise you, if you follow the way I do things, you will never get stiffed in this business ever again on pay.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Vinny, I got a surefire cure to keep people from blowing smoke up your ass.
Oh, God.
Excuse me. Then the farts would be lethal.
Oh, God.
I second that motion.
Well, here's another question for you. How many times did you get stiffed by a worker in the ring? And how many times did you work a yarder in the ring, too? That I'm curious about.
And
if you did wrestle a yarder, did you stiff the shit out of him and beat the holy shit out of him? I want to know that, too.
Yeah, of course. Anytime I have stepped in the ring with a yarder, of course, they get their ass handed to them.
And what is your thoughts on yarders?
I'm sorry?
What is your thoughts on yarders?
What is my what on yarders?
What is your thoughts? What is your thoughts on yarders?
Oh, my thoughts. Get trained right by a professional, someone who's legit. I can't stand them. They turn my stomach when I see them at the shows in their jeans and T-shirts. And
That's another fucking thing I have a problem with. Why the fuck is a lot of indie people dressed up like John Cena? Not everybody is fucking John Cena. What the fuck is this shit about? I'm sorry. I believe fans pay their money to see wrestlers dressed up like fucking wrestlers in the ring. Get some fucking money together, buy yourself some fucking ring gear, and then get in my fucking ring.
I can't tell you how many shirts I've torn off of guys, and I'm like, why the fuck are you even wearing a shirt?
It's fucking retarded, man.
Have I gotten stiffed in the ring lately? No, because it'll come back on them tenfold. Because I'm a submission style wrestler, and I'll fuck you up.
Well, I'll tell you, I refuse to get in the ring with a fucking yarder. I would rather walk and not get the rest of my pay and fucking refuse to work a yarder. It will never happen. I will not work yarder. It will not happen because I feel that if they're not trained, why should I put my body on the line? And how do I know they're going to protect me in the ring? If I was a wrestler, I don't know.
That's the thing about it. I don't give them an opportunity to do anything to me. I just straight shut them down in the ring, and either they quit or run out of the building. I can't tell you how many times I've seen guys just grab their bags, what their little gym bag and just run right straight out of the building without even collecting their pay.
Yeah, good.
Damn.
Yeah. Wow.
You know, Vinny, you can actually go on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/WrestleGamer, and see a couple of Nick Bondage's just for yourself.
That'll be good.
All right. Anyway, before that lovely conversation we've had, guys, I believe it was Andy's turn to give his final thoughts on Monday Night Raw.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. Didn't mean to go off topic. My bad.
No, I think that needed to be aired. Go ahead, Andy.
Yeah, I thought it was a good, considering what Mr. McMahon's been putting out over the last couple of weeks. It wasn't a bad Raw. I'd probably give it 5 out of 10.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for final thoughts of the week, and I want to start with...
Oh, God.
Little bit of breaking news. Regards Karma, she's posted a blog on Twitter, basically with regards to this whole Jim Ross thing. I've been told that a lot of people are taking pot shots at JR lately. If he hadn't shot from the hip all those years ago, I wouldn't have had the fire to succeed as much as I did. I wouldn't have had the strength to sacrifice being with my family, my country, my native tongue, to live in Japan for 6 years and learn this craft. I owe JR a great gratitude. Not only for setting me on my path to success, but also being there with open arms at the end of my journey and escorting me to the finishing line. Many of you may not know this, but JR lobbied for my recruitment to WWE. We met at the Cauliflower Alley Club reunion in Las Vegas, and I became fast friends with him and his lovely wife. He's heard the noise I was making in the industry and graciously gave me kudos. Kudos, whatever. You never have to worry about where you stand with JR. He'll give you constructive criticism when you need it and praise you when you've earned it. He's no sycophant, and that's something to be celebrated. I'm hoping you'll all send him a thankful salutation. I know I will.
If someone gives you kudos, seek medical attention immediately.
Speaking of medical attention as well, it's also, the trailer has now been put up on Vivid. Yes, she's back. Backdoor to China is coming soon.
Oh God. You know, guys, I never understood why they call them trailers. I mean, do they actually make this in a trailer? Like, do they make the video clips in a trailer? Like, why do they call them trailers? I never understood that. And another thing, why do the people always say, I give this person kudos or I give that person kudos? Last time I checked, isn't kudos a fucking granola bar? Like, I'm sorry, if I do something good, I don't want a fucking granola bar. Give me a fucking Kit Kat or a Reese's Pieces or something. Don't give me a fucking kudos granola bar. I hate granola bars.
Oh, and another little bit, details on this Chase, you reported it earlier. It was actually from the tapings for SmackDown for this week.
Okay.
Let me get to the details about the whole Mark Henry situation. The advertised dark match was supposed to be Christian versus Orton for the belt, but after Orton laid on the mat for 5 minutes and finally got up, Henry immediately hit the ring. The referee was Armstrong. After 5 minutes, Henry started getting harassed by members of the crowd, being called faggot repeatedly. A "You can't wrestle" chant broke out, and one very vocal and very drunk guy yelled, "Don't make me come in there and beat the black off of you."
Oh my God! Oh my God! Don't make me beat the black.
Yeah, this next sentence doesn't surprise me. Henry started getting visibly pissed at this comment and got a mic. The mic died before he could say anything. Then Henry got a second mic, and before he could finish saying, "You better hope this mic works," that mic died. Finally, a third mic was given to him, and that one was broken as well. Arguing with the section of the crowd that would have been behind the announcer's desk, while Armstrong started laughing hysterically. After 15 minutes of waiting for Henry's opponent, someone yelled out, "You should wrestle him," to the ref, and the ref, Scott Armstrong, started flexing his muscles jokingly, trying to relax both Henry and the crowd. Then Tony Kimmel made an announcement that while we're waiting for Mark Henry's opponent, he'd like to thank the crowd and they'll be back soon, blah, 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 blah. Then they start playing Hornswoggle's music, and he doesn't come out. Then Carly's music, and he doesn't come out. And then Mr. McMahon's music, and then he doesn't come out. After 25 minutes, 25 minutes, Henry starts walking around the ring, giving high fives and talking to some people, then posed at the top of the ramp and left. The crowd was pretty pissed because half of them waited half an hour for a match that didn't even happen.
Wow.
Man,
that's something you hear. That's usually something you hear in independent wrestling. I mean, how many clusterfucks happen in independent wrestling shows where the mic cuts out and there's no music because of the fucking speaker issues? And I mean, it sounds like the technical difficulties sounds like it's fucking like it sounds like it's Bush League shit, you know, like independent shit, you know?
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think about? What do you think about that? Do you agree?
Yeah, absolutely.
I remember
I actually have a funny story. If I could share it with everybody real quick about that. I did a show in Fort Walton Beach, Florida once. And, I show up and I go to give the music man, my CD and everything. And he's like, oh, well, I don't have a CD player. I said, what do you mean you don't have a CD player? All we have is this little cassette tape boombox.
Oh, my God.
Of course. I'm
Old
thinking,
school.
I don't have a cassette tape. I haven't had a cassette tape in almost 10 years.
Why not bring back 8-tracks? I mean, really.
Luckily, one of the Yardies that was booked on the show had a tape, a Bon Jovi tape. Everybody that night went out to Blaze of Glory by Bon Jovi.
But I wouldn't even let it gotten that far. I just would have walked out the fucking building and said, I'm not working on the show. That's fucking ridiculous.
It was great.
Oh my God! Let me guess. Let me guess. There was only 10 people in the crowd.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And then the promoter comes back to the back after the show's over, has $100 in his hand, throws it on the floor, and tells everybody to fight for their money.
Oh my God!
Wow.
Yeah.
In the SmackDown tapings as well, during the match between Sheamus and Randy Orton on SmackDown, apparently a fan ran around the ring and up the ramp. So there's going to be some clever editing there by WWE.
Oh my God!
In reference to Nick, Bon Jovi might have been bad, but I think this might have been worse.
Oh no.
Yeah, coming out to Mario. How about that one?
Super Mario.
Chalk up to more Botchmania videos.
Oh man. Well, anyway, here, Ashley, let's start with you. Final thoughts of the week.
Final thoughts of the week. Wrestling average. Hopefully it'll be better next week. And shit, E3. Thankfully, I'm getting entertainment from video gaming conferences at the minute rather than wrestling, so I am getting some kind of pleasure. That sounded wrong.
I was just gonna say, really, wow.
Anyway,
thank God I didn't. Thank God I don't own Playboy the Mansion. That would have been,
Guys, I hate to do this, but I got to get going. But I'd like to say thank you for having me come on again. I hope you guys had fun. I hope everybody listening had fun. And maybe next time I come on, we'll have some more cum-guzzling twat waffle stories for you. And I'd just like to say again, thank you for having me come on. I haven't done radio. It's very rare that I come on the radio these days, and it's because I turn down a lot of them. I just don't have time for it anymore. And, the only ones I'll really do it for are people that I've been loyal to for a while, that I've been friends with, and that's pretty much it. If there's any new people wanting to interview me, chances are I'm probably going to say no if I don't know you. If anybody's listening to this, and that has a radio show, I'm hoping you understand. It's nothing personal. It's just I don't know you. And if you don't like my answer, go fuck yourself. It's not my problem. I mean, I'm sorry. No, honestly, all jokes aside, though, guys, I'm just kidding. No, honestly, though, I'm really sorry. I wish I could do it, but for you guys, I'll come on every now and then. Definitely, just let me know. Maybe a couple months from now, I'll come on or something, and we'll do another fun night of Vinny the Guido Road Stories and Come Guzzling Twat Waffle Stories for you, and I'll definitely shoot on some more people just, to entertain people. And it was definitely a lot of fun, and if anybody who has Facebook or MySpace or, anything like that, my Facebook is www.facebook.com/official Vinny the Guido, myspace.com/official Vinny the Guido, and Twitter is www.twitter.com/Vinny the Guido. Apparently, official Vinny the Guido was too long, so I had to make it Vinny the Guido. So,
yeah,
so just feel free to add me, and if you have any questions, feel free and swing them my way, and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions for you. And thanks again for being devoted listeners to WGS Radio, and continue listening. These guys are funny motherfuckers just like me. And remember, people, other people's misfortune is my entertainment. Good night, everybody. Later, guys.
Vinny the Guido, everybody. Vinny the Guido. Nick, before we go to you, Mr. Bondage, would this music be worse than coming out to Bon Jovi?
Rule number 1, if she ain't happy, you ain't happy.
Yeah, that would have been worse.
I think one of the worst pieces of music you could probably come out to is... Oh, where have we got it? Where's it gone? Quick, talk about something else. I'll find it.
Well, your final thoughts of the week, Mr. Bondage.
Final thoughts of the week. It was great having Vinny the Guido on the show. I'll definitely be contacting him, and maybe you'll see a little bit more Nick Bondage nationwide. Monday Night Raw, much better than SmackDown. Still not quite sold yet on going back to watching TNA. Other than that, that's my thoughts for the week.
All right, I found it. What if you had to come out to this?
Oh.
Oh, God.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring.
I got one even better. Actually. I went out to Rhinestone Cowboy by Glenn Campbell one time.
Oh my God!
Oh yeah.
True hardcore.
Yeah. But I think this one would be cool for you, Mr. Bondage.
Hey, tell us.
Yeah, either that one or this one here. Hold on.
That one's being used by Psycho and Mustang Mike. I can't use that.
Really?
Possibly, just for old shits and giggles.
No, I think that's the music he uses to woo Mae Young.
Oh.
Anyway, let's go to Andy for his final thoughts of the week.
Yeah,
I'm probably going to get killed by chair shots while the time is over.
When are we going to see the chair shots?
Very soon.
Yes, very soon, guys.
We keep being promised these chair shots, and you're letting us down, Billy. I mean, you've got to stick
don't
your
worry,
neck out.
don't worry. You'll be able to piss on my headstone very soon.
All I can say to Nick is if he can remember the Rock versus Mick Foley match.
Oh, no.
Was it WrestleMania a few years back? Can we have a re-showing of that using Billy's head as the 15 times whack over the skull job?
Oh, no.
Well,
see,
would you rather see something
15.
like that, or would you rather see something like a concerto?
I think you should hit him that hard that his sausage falls out.
With friends like these, who needs enemies?
Yeah.
Wow. Might have a sausage-lined chair for him.
Oh, man.
That way he has a smile on his face when it comes.
Question is it black sausage?
Oh my God! Anyway, let's go to... he's going to hate me for it, so I'm going to him anyway. WWE fan and his final thoughts of the week.
Oh, it's been a good week, and if I don't stop laughing, I'm probably gonna die.
All right.
Breathe. Breathe.
Yeah, breathe.
Yes, when I hear this music, I know to be on the lookout. You know, it'd be funny if we went from this to this. Hold on.
It's me, Mario.
Let's go to the king of his own double wide trailer, Chase Matthews, and get his final thoughts of the week.
Before that, I gotta ask my end of the night question to Nick Bondage. Would you rather Billy's burnt sausage or Mae Young's blue cheese?
I love blue cheese.
Thomas Jefferson, suck up!
Anyway, okay week. It was okay week. Sorry, Billy. You know I love you.
On that note, that concludes this WrestleDOWN, the discussion on wrestling now. I will say this, I might not be here next week because I'm probably killed anyway. Yeah. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us. Vinny the Guido, the king of his own double wide trailer, Chase Matthews, the doctor of, well, no, if I'm not mistaken, he's the doctor of chairology, Nick Bondage, WWE fan, Andy, Chris Masters when he was here. Rev Jake Slayer was here for a little while, then he left. I'm not sure exactly what's going on here. Hopefully we'll have an update later on. And, of course, the return of the Studley man himself, Ashley. And, of course, it's always great to have you back, Ash. And so on that note, I'm Double B Billy Boudreaux saying, worship the ground Chuck Norris walks on, or he will roundhouse kick you in the face. Good night, everybody.